Morning, Diana. How are you?
Hello, Leo. Me get up this morning, well, pan nice in my ears, well, because the people
Me,
in
me some
my
patalik. You some patalik?
I know for me patalik, me nah no patalik. And the people them a build that 1,000 floor place nearby. And
Oh.
I'm back in my usual space, which means that I need to soundproof this place now. But if me soundproof it, me can't get me like a breeze.
So all you have to do is get some old bed and put, on the wall them and so forth.
Oh, too old Kaya mattress, you think
Kaya
that will work?
mattress. Yeah, 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 yeah. The kaya good for that, It just block out
Absorbent.
anything. Yeah.
That, but based on stories that I've heard about Kaya, then carry some other complex
Yeah. Chink,
things.
chink, chink.
I can't think. I got chinka overrun my house.
That's the only problem. So you have to live with the ups and the downs or the good and the bad. Yeah. So if you want good, you know, have to run. That's all you go.
But
Right?
I don't know that I want that kind of good because that is like a 30-floor apartment complex that is going up on a Saturday morning. People that like sleep like a
Where
lazy.
exactly is that? Where exactly is that? Because I don't know.
Um, it's within a stone's throw of Terra Nova. That's where it is.
Oh,
But I
I
can
see.
hear the sound and I can
Yeah,
hear it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. That
Mm.
30 story, that enough story that.
Enough story me hope then sell to for enough money now run again.
I saw something. There's a white dude who going around Jamaica and going into the supermarkets and telling us, and I don't know how true these things are, back at chips, and he's talking US dollars, and I'm saying, are so expensive things that Jamaica?
Well, Leo, the truth is that prices have gone up significantly, but things are always very expensive in
Hmm.
Jamaica relative to the US. I remember years ago, many moons ago, and we were visiting Jamaica, or living in the States then. I was visiting and went to the store to buy Cheetos. And we're in one of those resort places, and the Cheetos was like $500. And when the lady told me $500, then I probably might have been about five. She nearly dropped down. She said,
Yes,
"Oh,
yes.
believe
500 of one
it,
Cheeto.
believe it. Next time we're coming back to Jamaica, we have to bring
We
our
bring
own
one
Cheetos.
Cheetos.
Yes, it makes sense.
Oh my God.
It has
So,
not changed. It has only gotten worse. So yes, I can understand. There are a number of things that it's just not practical when you look at what the average income is.
mhm.
To live on those sort of things, it's hard. It is hard.
Yeah, I mean it's tough here too, but when I think about, because sometimes you go to Jamaica and you change a money, a big money, right? And no time it done, and you say, Where did it go? Where did it go? I just
Every,
had lunch."
yes, everything is a big price.
A big price.
So you exchange your money and you get a wag of money and you say you're rich,
Exactly.
like, you know,
Yeah. And
and
then
no
you had lunch, and then that's it.
you broke. Until that you broke. But anyway, how was your week?
Kind of chill out. I'm in California. I came to a funeral of a friend of ours. Me come America, come see her, and she was one of those big community leaders. And when she passed, her and her daughter and her daughter's husband and I are very good friends. And so it was a big loss. It is a big loss to the community. So when I went to the funeral yesterday, it was good to see all these people I hadn't seen in 15, 20 years, because I pretty much grew up here in California. Yeah, I spent 30 years of my life, early life here.
Wow, all of your good days,
All
Leo.
of my good days.
That's awesome. I mean,
So,
condolences to her family and to her
yeah, man.
friends and to people like you a little bit, But I can understand that long association and to lose that kind of person. And it
Yeah,
must have been
man.
comforting for you when you go on strange place and you find somebody who can take care of you. Was that helpful,
Yeah,
Leo?
yeah, man. Yeah, it was. So it felt good going into a place where everybody, you are a friend of everybody, or everybody. It's just like, that's like family, you know what I mean? so it felt good. And so the event, we call it the post event, the repast. Everybody stayed there for at least 4 or 5 hours because it was like friendly, you know. It was really good reminiscing. So it was good. It was really, really good. So my week has been good. But down in just the fact that I had to come to a funeral, but overall it was good.
Well, you know, we Jamaicans, we make funeral nice. For we funeral,
Yeah,
them not dowdy. For we funeral,
yeah,
them nice. People go
yeah.
up there and talk, and some of the time people say, what kind of foolishness? You couldn't talk something better than this. Or some of the time we say, boy, yes, in talk truth, talk truth, talk truth. You know, sometimes we say, Lord, God, the person can don't know, make we get for go see so and so. You know, but we spend the whole time looking around for some long lost friend, some friend
Yes,
that we haven't
yes,
seen
and,
in
and some
ages.
long last stories.
I don't yes, that's true. And I must say, I said to some people who come in, we know that somebody they know, but we don't remember their
Yeah,
name.
actually, to be honest with you, a lot of people come up to me and me know them face, but I can't remember which person. I have to turn to my friend Sharon. I say, Sharon, who that? Who that again? You know, I left there like 11, 12 years, I think, somewhere there, ago. And so,
Mhm.
oh no, it's actually 10 years. This year is 10 years.
Okay,
So, yeah,
that's fabulous though. Let me catch up with some
before
writing.
you catch up, more of them for know,
Yes.
say, it might be 9 o'clock for them time this morning, but
Mm.
it's actually me have to wake up from 5 o'clock this morning for up on the show. Yeah. So I have to give me some props this morning. Make my face kind of look fresh and refresh and look good, okay?
But Leo,
Mm.
me have to get up early at 8 o'clock at my yard, you know. I mean I usually get up them I always get
5 o'clock, me say me get
inside
up.
the house.
5 o'clock, me get up.
Get up and next week you get up 5 o'clock again. Um Jackie says, Jackie, she's still up on our Brunswick St. Elizabeth Church, sitting there. Why not go up on your own? She says, good morning. Lauren says, blessings. Jackie says, sorry for your loss, Leo. Oh, she's very sympathetic. She says, so Leo, it's very early where you are. Yes, you just tell her, say, yes, you're pretty early. Yes, I can get up. Nancy, yeah, Nancy, Leo, you look fresh this morning like you had a facelift. So Leo,
That's what we want to hear. These are the things that I want to hear in the morning. Okay, so not, yeah, yeah.
the one Mark here say it's no so early. Mark, we did tell us the way I try come early from 2 week now. Last week we did early to for Leo he want to 3 hours. Me that like just do 2 hours. Michelle she not get up. So she did it. So that's why we so early and now pay attention in a class. Make Lorraine tell you if she did there early.
That's
Leo,
right.
you look great. 5 a.m. Wow. She said she not get up. Mark said I can only drop in him on the job. All right, Mark. Well, we're glad to hear from you. Fine. Somebody have to work for mine the Lorraine.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But we're happy to have each of every one of you guys here this morning. Thank you so much for
You
checking
know,
in.
we're going to talk about this morning, Air Jamaica. We're
Yeah, we
going to
talk
talk a
about
little
Air
bit
Jamaica.
about Air
No,
Jamaica.
but before we talk about Air Jamaica, make us talk about the award ceremony. Remember, I said the award them just give
What
out.
award are they talking about?
Yes, on Heroes Day they hand out
Oh, Lord.
them awards there.
I forgot about that. One
Um,
that I wrote an article on it,
yes.
and yeah, got so much responses.
Wow.
It's about. Go ahead, and introduce the topic.
No, but the national awards is a way of Jamaica and Jamaican people. It's supposed to be the government and the people that make these dominations and award these, recognize these people with different awards. But they have different levels. So them give bravery, them give long service, them give to the correctional service, the fire brigade, them give long service recognitions.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think just the police, them give some long service. And then them have another category where they give OD at commander level, OD at officer level, OD at mother level, OD at father level. And then them have another one that them give OJ, which is the highest level. But the highest of all the highest is the national hero. But we
Mhm.
don't give nobody no national hero. And that is probably where I want to have my conversation.
Okay, yes, because you know, so the article that I wrote was about just that. Because over the years, we've seen where the entire public is asking for national heroes awarded to to Louise Bennett, and to especially Bob Marley. And for some reason, it has never happened. And you know what Bob, for example, has done for Jamaica and the world. In fact, the world knows about Jamaica because right now, because in a bigger way, because of Bob Marley. The style of dress, the hair, the food, the impact that Bob has had over the years, drawing people to and creating. And in fact, yesterday I saw the tourist board send out an ad, and this is very funny because the tourist board is a Jamaican entity. Send out an ad about Bob Marley and his kids, and, and I'm saying to myself, it's an ad advertising people to come to Jamaica because of Bob Marley and so on. And we refuse to give Bob the thing. So here's the thing. Marcus Garvey, George William Gordon, Sam Sharp, Nanny, Bogle, Manley, and Bustamante. Those are our 7, right? And the way I broke it down is those 7 people, 6 of them, 4 of them gave their life for the advancement of people and change the way history has. And those 4 are Paul Bogle, he got hung, right, somewhere there in Kingston. George William Gordon got hung alongside him. Then Nanny, even though they can't verify it, they believe that she died in a war, and they hung Sam Sharp, so he died also. Then the other 2, Manley and Bustamante, who work hard assiduously to bring nationhood to our independence to our country, right?
Marcus, I know you jump Marcus.
So yeah, me jump Marcus for a particular reason.
Okay.
So Marcus is the only one who don't fit in what we generally call national hero, because to be honest with you, Marcus Garvey's time was spent, his biggest and most famous time was spent outside of the country, delivering messages of hope to Black people across the world. Same thing with Bob Marley do. He didn't die for any cause of Jamaica. By the time when he came back to Jamaica, he was a broken man because he had spent time in prison and stuff, and he tried to start a political party, and it didn't last. So I'm saying that the kind of work that Marcus Garvey gave, for him to be our first national hero, it means that our country recognized the impact of a person that you don't have to die for the cause of the country to be a national hero. All you have to do is be a big name promoting Jamaica in a big way. And who does that better than Bob Marley? Nobody. Because Marcus Garvey don't have true. And so I am looking at it in a way that if Marcus Garvey can get status as national hero, and the first national hero, not just national hero, he was our first national hero, then Bob Marley can get national hero. But we all know what the problem is. Bob Marley smoke weed, and Bob Marley have dreadlocks, and some of our leaders who are making the decisions are saying, who wants a smoke weeding dreadlocks to be a national hero? Well, yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I think they say me. They have my vote, if that's the question.
Oh, I see you're answering. So where we are in our country these days is that we don't have no space for any kind of bias and prejudice. Our country, everybody is equal. It's the same way, and people are going to argue also about the Maroons. And I'm not jumping on no Maroon bandwagon, but they are like a subculture in Jamaica, and we need to change that. We need to change that because we are all equal people. We are all one Jamaican, and whether not Bob or Peter or Buju, or whether him up dreadlocks or bald, they are people who are making impact across the world that we need to stop and look and say, Do we still carrying around the colonial thing? Are we still carrying around this colonialism that affected us back before 1962 and even post 1962? Are we still carrying it around? You know. So
well,
there
Leo,
we
to
go.
take on that that last question, I think a lot of Jamaicans here would say, yes, we still continue to be straddled by the post-colonialism, and the plantocracy still still is adamant to control and to be in charge and to dictate and to suggest that they're not dictating, what happens. Um, Perhaps it is that Bob has too many baby mothers and they don't want they don't, they don't want to advance that kind of a culture. Um, so I don't know. For me,
So if you look at it, Diana,
yes,
in order, because there's been so much big outcry across Jamaica about Louise Bennett and Bob Marley, right? Instead of doing the right thing, right? The authorities created a brand new segment called National Order of National Icon, right? That doesn't give them the national hero status, right? So my contention in the article was, why did we have to come up with a new category? But it appears that they want to appease themselves by giving them a higher status and slam the people who've been asking for it for the longest time by not giving them it's a flaw. It's a huge flaw in, if we can't give the people what they need, then we are using our system to make determinations by ourselves, and that sounds like Trump to me. To me, that sounds like Trump, a person who all he want to do is use the system to appease himself. And if we can look at the people and say, this is what the people want, it didn't create, when they got National Icon Award, who care about that? Who knows anything about a National Icon Award? Well, people want to see national hero. That's what they want to see. Give it to them. So there goes my little good
well, let me
morning.
catch up with the messages and then I will share my perspective.
Yes.
Well, where were we? Jackie. Oh, Mr. Mark said, can only drop in on the job. And I said, yes, him have to work so that him can mind Lorraine. Lorraine, she had a laugh. Jackie Plant Brissett, she want we to send the link to her personal Facebook account, for she don't know how to do it. She said that she set her alarm to listen to us. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Lorna is here early. Oh my gosh. She says, good morning to the host and hostess. I'm up. Martha celebrates Sir Bounty Killer because Killer get him award. Karen says, good morning, Dan and Leo. Still in my bed. Ooh, you both looking fresh and fully rejuvenated. Condolences to the family, Leo, and the loss of your loved one and friend.
Who's that? Karen? That was Karen, right?
That was Karen Roy. Last week she did a drop on down. I don't remember. Kind of where did go last week? Lawton says, good morning to my friends from... Oh, Lawton is in Jamaica. Oh, my God. I have a date. Lawton, tell me where you're there. May I have to catch up? Please tell me where you're at. Paulette says, good morning, Dr. Dan and Leo. Everyone, say hail up everyone. Yeah, Jackie Shino, I nominate Bob Marley, One Love. Juliet is here. She says, good morning to you all. Sorry I'm late. I was
You're not too late, Juliet. It's all right. It's all right.
Oh, she was
when I get a kid this morning, Diana was late too. So
you're wicked. She said sorry late, but she was looking for us on the conversations with Daniel only to find it default to Jamaicans.com. But anyway, good morning. So we have to say that whilst we had hoped to start on conversations with Diana, Michelle, and Leo's site on Facebook, there's a restriction that our thing has to be up for must be 6 months before we can go live on it. We don't know what kind of politics I'm play with it. A little trickery.
Plantocracy.
But in the meantime, we also need to grow the numbers of followers on that site. So please follow us until we're able to get the numbers that they want and also get the tenure. So I think it's a 6 month period. I'm not sure. Yeah, Lorna says she see the medicine on your counter. Leo, Lorna, see medicine back of you, up behind you, up on top of one shelf. I don't know if
Oh,
somebody dressed up,
okay,
but
okay.
you see what
It's a pharmacy.
you see the one Lorna, true, she have enough medicine affair, and medicine, no
You
stand.
can recognize it.
Mark says, yes, we can still carry on the colonial mentality. It's going to take a minute to cleanse from all that history. Yes, but the minute now run, we should have in at some 30 seconds now. Juliet Rose said, use the system to stay out of jail. Um, Chicago, laugh out loud. Oh, she was in Chicago. Andrea Jackson, Andrea is in Orlando, Florida. Oh, guys,
Morning, Andrea. Morning to you. Morning to you. Morning to you, Paulette and
it's still there,
Juliet
it's still there, New York, Paulette, are you gone? Now, somewhere
and
else.
KK. Good morning to you, KK. Good morning, everybody.
Leo, please look on YouTube to see. Oh, Karen
I
is
see
on.
Karen is there. That's Karen. That's
Okay.
where Karen is.
All right.
Yeah. Respect.
So
Yeah,
Karen in
man.
Chicago.
No, she's on YouTube.
Oh,
But you don't know if you said that she was traveling last week, so she's
yes.
responding to
Last
you.
week she did in our car and said, "Oh, she had drive cause
She should
somewhere."
drive Chicago. She
Then,
wanted to drive
oh,
into
she was
Chicago.
going to Chicago.
Mm.
How was it? I hear there's a restaurant in Chicago called the Purple Pig, and they serve the most fabulous pork. Oh gosh, ooh, you know, in Milan, Chicago next time, Purple
You
Pig.
know, I'm going to baptize Diana in the SDA church because I've never seen somebody who love pork. So we have to go stop the pork
Ooh.
thing on Diana.
Yes, baptize me in there because I got many converts. I them with the prayer from in the book. I go start name have to. But anyway, guys, it's good to be here.
So you're supposed to give your take now on my long dissertation a while ago.
Oh Lord, I don't want for long dissertations. But as it relates to the creation of a new category, I'm not opposed to the creation of a new category, but not simply to create this category to push somebody who deserves not to be in that category.
Right.
If you're creating this category for the likes
Must
of
be
a
legitimate.
and the likes
Yes.
of a Leo to become a national icons,
Yes.
if you created that category even for the likes of a Marcus Garvey to become because of the impact they've had outside of Jamaica, but on the advancement of people generally holding on to the Jamaican culture. If you create this category for Claude McKay, those kind of literary success stories, yes, I
Bounty Killer, Bolt,
bold. If you
Beanie
created
Man,
for,
Dennis
for bold,
Brown.
I don't know if a Beanie Man and a Bounty Killer or those kind of artists, but I think somebody who's a little bit more than that. Bold, yes. The artists can get these CDs and all of those things. Keep that category. But Bolt is an icon. You walk to any country and you say Bolt and everybody jump for the
Shelly
Bolt.
Ann
You
Fraser.
know,
Yeah,
you talk
absolutely
about
right.
Shelley and you talk about Merlin Otti. These are
Merlin
people
Otti.
who
Yeah,
belong in national
yeah,
icon status. So
absolutely
not
right.
at the so for me, I am really not into creating this to shelf a Miss Lou and to quiet a disturbed and antagonistic nation that is saying these people ought to be recognized as heroes because
I didn't see no celebration on social media about, they got national icon status. I didn't see
nobody
anything.
don't even exist yet. They don't even get it. It
They
was
don't even get it
an announcement that we are going to.
yet.
So we're not there yet.
It's
So for me,
unfair.
no, you don't push the likes of a Miss Lou. And the truth is that Leo, unlike you, I really advanced Miss Lou ahead of Bob. I think that she created an awareness of Jamaican and Jamaican culture and Jamaican language and Jamaican music. It wasn't reggae, but it was Jamaican music. The whole um, things that people who work in singing and we're playing and we're singing, just advancing the culture of Jamaica. She built an awareness outside of the space, and particularly in Europe, where Bob Marley did very well. Europe is his space, and I think that Miss Lou deserves it first and foremost. So when they go to name the heroes, I think they ought to name her first. If it's even the same breath, but she must be named first. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I look at Bounty Killer and and Beanie Man. When one of the things I wrote yesterday was when I first became aware of Bounty Killer and Beanie Man back in 1991, 1992. Me never know what the hell is going on because there was a culture of war of words going on, and we don't know if the war of words meant that it was physically being done and so forth. I was afraid of that, right? It's a brand new culture. But if I thought about it, people like Derek Morgan and those guys used to war of words too. You know, Stranger Cole and these guys, Prince Buster, they used to use war of words too in the music. But then I got it later on what Beanie Man and Bounty Killer were about. And they've been around since that time, 1990, 91, 92. They've been around and been on top of the work that they do and has never really faltered in terms of their popularity. People, 3 generations of people are still following these guys like they're, you know what I mean? And so last year, there's this guy by the name of Wayne Marshall, who got an OD. This is 2023. I'm gonna say, who is Wayne Marshall? Me know any song from him. You know, I can't recognize what his songs were because he doesn't really have a plethora of music out there for me to recognize. But him get an OD, and then I said to myself, say, how come him get OD and Beanie Man and Bounty Killer not get OD? You know, they have to wait until this year for them to catch up. So you give somebody who just come on the scene OD, and these 2 guys who have been creating waves in the industry across the world, people who change dancehall, because once upon a time used to be reggae music and everything else come under reggae music. But those 2 guys by themselves created dancehall and make dancehall different from reggae music. And so that they shifted.
I agree with you that they have significantly influenced the reach of dancehall and continue to do so for many generations. But I cannot make you get away with overlooking a Super Cat and a Yellow Man and a
yeah, but they were more.
And a Patra, and a
I agree with you.
Welcome to all of them people there.
I agree, but I'm saying you're right. But I don't know if those guys get any OD. I don't know what that Patra got. Yellowman may have gotten, you know. But I'm saying to you that how did Wayne Marshall get into minute? Do you know Wayne Marshall personally?
He married to one girl and them have one show on the radio on the TV.
Okay, but he have music. And
married to what's her name? Chin, the girl who did win the thing.
Tessan.
Chin's sister. So I married to
Tammy. Okay. So you get what is it? Why
get comments and come back to that question. For you now read the comments, them and me wanna read this one.
Of course, that's your job. You get paid for that.
Ooh, no, nobody thinks I may get no pay. We don't get no pay around here. We do it out of the love. Like what did the artist say? We do it for the love. We not do it for the like. Yeah, we do it for the love. Mark says yes, we carry on the colonial. Andrea says she's in Orlando. Paulette laughing. Andrea said good morning. Paulette says she's still in New York. Okay. Lana said me a nurse, so it's easy for me to identify medicine.
I nosy, Lana. I'll nosy. I look at the people them sitting.
Perfect answer.
Yeah, nosy. I look at the people them sitting.
Next day they abuse medicine. Jackie say you're funny, Dr. Dan. I love pork too. Exactly. Pork we say. Don't know about the restaurant, Diana. Maybe because it serves pork. Then we love. Karen, you not work with me, you know.
Karen is an SDA fully. So
Karen, you not work with me. Look around there, you see where this is. Me not to get up and down and look feet. You know, go please me take train and last and all of that. Michael says morning one and all. Michael Tomlinson, good to see you. Juliet said, give the title to Bob Marley. Yes, Diana, unfair. Yes, man. Karen says the trip was successful, was for business. Okay, fabulous. Paulette said, yes, Miss Lou should be named first. Exactly. Jackie says, I went to Ring Ding many years ago with Miss Lou. It was awesome. Continue to rest in Lou, Miss Lou. She rest in peace, she says. Wow, to remember Prince Buster commandments. Wow, who remember? I will answer the question that Leo must I only somebody who remember Prince Buster
You
commandments.
don't know Prince Buster?
Commandments. What was his commandments? Who was Prince Buster? Who is in dead?
No, I'm not going to answer that because you obviously don't know your history. So how can we be having? How can we be?
Me know Freddie McGregor. Me know Coco T. Me know.
Them that 80s, them that 80s people.
No, we
Let's
must
talk about Prince Buster, Derek Morgan. Do you know Derek Harriet? You're supposed to know Derek Harriet.
Yes, we know Derek
Oh,
Harriet.
thank you. You know Stranger Cole? You know Stranger Cole?
No, me know Skill Cole who play football.
We're not having this conversation. We are not having this conversation. Not so early in the morning, okay? All right. Hey, any people want to tell Diana a couple songs where Derek Morgan sing? Tell me what couple songs where that Prince Buster sing. Blue Magic. Who remembers Blue Magic? You remember that?
I mean, no Donaldson. Me know Eric Donaldson song that.
Yeah.
Step and all of that. Me know them songs. I want to hear, man. Dan Bright says, good morning, cast and everyone on the live. Yay, good morning, Dan. Thanks for being here. We are called cast. We're never gonna cast. All right, but I understand. I just pull in your leg. Thanks for
Which one? You take shit out.
You know that what you take. I call we the cast.
Oh, the cast. Characters. They call the characters.
But then we for real, we know go by no script. We just come talk as well. Thank you for being here and thanks for the heal up. Juliet said, go Mr. Leo, memories. There she know memories don't move like people do. Okay, Mark Hay says, oh Leo, getting ready to sing karaoke now. Yeah, it can catch up fire. Dan said, Rudy's don't fear. Who is
Rudy's don't fear? Rudy's don't fear. No boy, Rudy's don't fear. Rudy's don't no boy, Rudy's don't fear. Rougher than rough. Tougher than tough, strong like lion. We are iron. Who remember that?
Oh, you got song here. I like the words.
Yeah, yes.
Sing again. We love it. Rudy's don't fear.
And Judge 100 years. Who know that song there? It's called Judge 100 years. You're gonna give 100 year time. It's a music. It's a song. I think that was Prince Buster.
She ready for the song in the morning. You're not seeing Yes, that was a good one.
So Diana, are you worried about Trump winning?
No, I'm not worried about Trump winning because I'm confident in the other nominee taking the office.
Oh yeah? Yeah, what's the name of the other nominee?
Kamala.
Kamala
no fear, no.
No, Kamala don't. Rougher than rough, tougher than tough, strong like lion. Yes, we are iron. Here's some lyrics. Lyrics. Yeah, Judge one. Yes, Cheryl say yes. What? How come Cheryl know Judge 100 year and you don't know it?
Cheryl a girl got dance long before me, man. First time we go one dance, Me a big addict, first time we go one dance. And maybe tell you the one dance we go. We have to go through some back fence and come out through some other place because police ready.
Well, yes.
And me first said to myself, then good God, me never go dancing all of my days. In my adult days,
police are going to catch you.
And police will let me around in. And me supposed to be a good upright citizen. They never lock me up in this dance. I wonder what's wrong with me.
Well, in a few days, police was in the dance, a part of the whole party. Back in the days, police never used to fool around people. Because dance, nowadays, Dance used to start from 4 o'clock when they string up. Yeah, them because by the time 7, 8 o'clock comes around, the amplifier had to be warm because it can't play unless it's warm. It's
Okay.
tube amps, and so
You might have
the
to be
music
warm. Oh, because it's tube, like the
tube,
like
yes, and
tube.
because it's tube,
Yes,
they
yes.
have to start play it from 4 o'clock in the evening, so that when 9 o'clock come, it's in full force. And so
Disturb the neighbor.
they start put up the little thing them and they start test the speaker them, the little speaker them in the tree. Because we used to put speaker in a tree, the horns, and put them in a trees, and then do the tweet of them and so forth, and then you start by 9 o'clock come and the thing warm up, then the bass come in now, boom, putum, putum, putum. Used to love the dance there, yeah.
You
But
love it dance still, you know.
yeah. But no girl that used to come and dance in time there. In the 70s, I just man.
I want to do I just sit down and listen and I drink
Just
beer.
stand up and listen and dance. And if one girl come and dance, everybody want to dance there.
Dan says, real talk, Dan. Jackie said, no Trump, Kamala all the way, blue all the way, said Juliet. Don't
Absolutely.
play that song.
And
Don't play that song. Which song enough you play?
The red song. But I'm calling and asking for everybody to go out. We don't need someone who don't respect women. We don't need somebody who don't respect the Constitution of the United States. We don't respect somebody who, when they talk, them call people garbage and rat and say we are eater. I mean, how could you, when you first go to vote for somebody, when you grow up and they say vote for somebody, you vote for somebody who can represent you, somebody who can speak on your behalf. Is Trump speaking on our behalf? He's not.
We now got this. So hold on a little bit. Dan says, don't play that song. And then Jackie said, dance early for the young people and later for the adults. Okay. Dan says, have a blessed day, guys. She's loving us and leaving us. Continued blessings, everyone. Keep safe. Have a good rest of weekend and have a productive week, Dan. Thanks for dropping in and for commenting.
And I have a problem. I have a problem with even thinking that we could put somebody like that in our office. Somebody who blatantly say things that are disgusting, that are inhumane,
and lie,
and completely lie about things. How do you, if you put up with that, if you vote for him, you telling me that you are a damn liar too? That's how we say it. If you vote for somebody who stand that way there, you are just that way. And I come on, you know.
All right,
when is it that? When do we start accepting these things?
Each one make a plan to vote. Juliet said, vote, please. All those that are in these United States of America, please vote.
Please go out and vote.
Oh, thank you. Yes, you are good. And
make sure that you vote the right person in office, yes. Somebody who can represent you as a black person, yes. Or you as a white person. Make sure that the person really can represent you.
Yeah, somebody who respects you and somebody who respects you, respects your rights and your entitlements. But more than anything, somebody who respects me for me. Don't respect me for my vote. Don't come around simply because of the voting opportunities. And Leo, I think I see this just so common and spiraling in Jamaica. I'm sorry, but I see it evident that there is a push to advance certain things. I was looking in the paper to try and find some things, and I'm saying, well, they're having a new category of wardens being trained to man the rivers.
Prisons.
They're having a new set of wardens being trained to man the rivers for environmental issues. New set of wardens being trained to man the agricultural sector to minimize and mitigate larceny. All of a sudden, there's $1.3 billion that is being assigned to train these 300 people. 300 people, 1.8 billion is being assigned to train them quick and fast within this period. We've had predator larceny as a concern from 1,000 years, forever and ever, for the past 4 years, for the past 5 years, for the past 6 years. Nothing has been done, and then all of a sudden, and so for me, those things get my gall. It's probably a good
it's the same.
But,
yes.
but I don't see any difference in it. Let me catch up with the messages. Cheryl said, plan with your neighbor and family, go vote early. Vote early. Jackie says, you have a lot of idiots out there. Yes, so we'll go vote for that. Doreen says, yes, we'll do. Juliet says, you are a liar and a thief, just like him if you vote for him. That's what
Yeah, you are.
some
You
people
are.
can still get mail-in ballots. All right, Miss Cheryl, talk up the story. Omar Vibes. Hey, Omar Vibes. Good to have you here. Good morning, everyone. What's today's topic? Omar, you have to follow the thing, whatever on the raise, we deal with it. So we started off by looking at awards and people who get national awards in Jamaica. And now we're going into a little bit of a politicking and encouraging for voting and voting early. Voting habits, we're looking at it. Cheryl said all mail-in ballots must be in on or about by 5 p.m. on November 5th. So you still can vote.
So I was reading this morning. Here's my fear. I was reading an article this morning, right? And the article said, I don't remember if it's Arizona. That's she brought up the 5 o'clock thing. At 5 o'clock at one of these polling divisions, 2,500 ballots came in, and it was suspect, right? Well, they checked them and found that 60% of them were fraudulent. 60% of that 2,500 ballots that came in at the last minute on that yesterday polling day, pre-polling, that 2,500 came in, 60% of them were fraud. People who dead, people, there's nobody exists name. So there's a difference between the person's name and them address and them social security. All of these things were off. And I am afraid that this is a tactic that's going to be used, especially in the bigger areas, Pennsylvania and Washington and New York, Georgia, these places. I'm so afraid because it means that someone is trying to stop these ballots. And I've seen it even at the local level, because we run, I'm going to go out on the limb here.
Why are you going out on the limb?
We run diaspora elections, and I've seen where everything going smooth. And I saw it 2 times in a row, all right? Everything going smooth in a particular area. And then all of a sudden, one box come in with 700 votes or 1,800 votes. And then the person who you least expect to win, because they had no status before, all of a sudden, and them are the global Jamaica diaspora rep, right?
Maybe go back to the message there. Go no further upon the lane.
How is it that these things are happening and nobody is saying this is wrong? Why is it that we are okay with these things that are wrong? That something is wrong with that.
Yes.
It's
unethical and unprincipled. Good. Jeffrey is here. Good morning, Doc and Leo, Mr. Leo. Good morning, Doc, Mr. Leo. Go on, Tavares. You're going about your business. Oh, and Kari can say good morning, Doc and Mr. Leo. You notice, say no good morning, beautiful.
Because Michelle not there.
No.
And Michelle not come this morning, so you better enjoy, Diana.
No, I'm in the police one. He can left now.
Yeah. So me said to
we are doing Jean. Morning, me run the late show. I want me miss. I like she come and quote us. I want me miss. Oh my gosh. Lorna says, Leo, I went to nursing home and took some people I know to vote early.
You see, I like that. Giving everybody a chance to win, giving everybody a chance to make sure that they vote. Right. That's important. Yeah.
Michael said, isn't that what Trump was so riled up about, fraudulent voting?
Exactly.
Yes, but I don't know. I think he makes a lot of noise about the things that he's doing. With the intent that you cast this aspiration against the opposition, but fully well that this is what you're practicing.
Absolutely.
Jean says, Leo, may I fast and pray them now win whole thief. Says Jean. Paul, let you laugh. Yeah, Tavares, yeah, you come around in predictably, no Leo, yeah. Where is the most beautiful Miss Michelle? Just don't come.
so, so here's how I think. I you know, I'm not going to go by what I hear the media doing. Media plays us really hard, right? Media plays, and so I believe that they're telling us that the race is tight. I don't believe that's true. Not in. I've been here for 40 years in America, and not in 40 years I've ever seen so many Republicans cross over the line and say we are voting Democrat this year. There's a reason why they do that. I've never seen that happen with such a massive amount of people. I've never seen so many singers and artists and guys coming out and saying, please. I've never seen that before. But no, they're jumping on not just for Kamala. They're jumping on to retain America as America is supposed to be over the past 400 years. The growth that we have encouraged over the years, from being slaves to being real black people advancing themselves. That's what they're coming over for. They're coming over because they've seen growth. What this man wants to do is to bring us back into slavery. And he's saying it. He said that, for example, the generals that Hitler had, that's the type of generals that he wants in the army. Hitler, listen to this now. Hitler is drawing reference to Hitler and saying something is wrong with anybody who puts up with, you cannot be my friend. If you are telling me that you are supportive, you can't be my friend, because we stand on two different principles. This election now is it a tell me who you are and separate us all in one. Something is wrong with that. Okay? Something is wrong. It's too much. It's too much for someone. We have moved away from slavery and Jim Crow laws for such 50, 60 years. And then all of a sudden, we're going to get through. We are being called garbage. Listen, I was illegal in this country for a while. So he's talking about me being garbage.
Hold on. Is you've been eating the people and pets.
Exactly. That's my point.
My brother says the same thing, Leo. He wonders if the Republican who crossed don't have no coat tails. Wignall says, Lord Leo, whoa, they are from Carter days.
Yes.
Yeah, they are voting to retain democracy. I don't know. Paulette, what you say? They are longer than you, Leo. Retain the democratic process. They are longer than you. But yeah, I understand your passion and I understand that. But we can just use this space to encourage people who have not yet cast their votes to go ahead and do that. And like Cheryl reminds you can still vote by mail. You just have to request it. I opted for that route, so I voted by mail, and my vote is secure and not fraudulent. I still exist and I'm alive, so I hope that it counts. And my one is a critical state because it's Georgia. So, folks, let us get on with it. Get on with it. Please like and share the feed so that everybody else who looking for us can know that we're in this space and not on conversations.
I have to. These are the things that irritate me. All right, and looking at Jamaica, I am non-political as far as Jamaica is concerned. But this week something kind of struck me because I've been in this space for a long time. You see, when they call the philanthropic space, I've been there for a long time. I've been there for like 39 years, 35 years. I don't remember how much. Somewhere in my 30s amount of years, And I've had to look at a whole heap of different statistics. And I wondered what the Prime Minister, maybe he made a mistake this week. And he said that, we are coming from 600 gangs. And I said, 600? When did we have 600 gangs in Jamaica? Because all this time, I went as far back as 2012 looking at official documents. And I want to say that the Prime Minister made a mistake. Because there's not been any part of our history where we had 600 gangs in Jamaica. The maximum amount of gangs I've seen over the time that I've been looking at these things, it's 350, right? Maximum. And then he says we are coming from 600 gangs to 150. And there's no, may have a problem with that because it's now start reminding me of what I'm hearing from Mr. I mean, so I mean, like my country, I go them way there, I mean, I like that. When Trump tell me one thing, I mean, no, it's a lie. Then me hear my Prime Minister say that. I mean, I like that. I mean, I like that. So please correct it, Mr. Prime Minister. May I ask if you correct that statement? We never have 600 gangs in Jamaica. We maximum we have. In fact, official records in 2023 was 2021 was 250. So please correct that for me. Please.
All right, Leo. I will look into that matter for you.
Thank you so much.
I will see what I can do, Prime Minister.
Thank you, Madam Prime Minister.
Perhaps it is that somebody made his notes for him, and
Yeah.
You know, we have to go fire one of those.
Yeah, please correct that for me, sir.
Yes. Erica says the ballots were checked and very few fraudulent votes were found. I still find it hard to believe so many people are voting for Trump with all the facts that is available, especially after watching the January 6th video. 64 insurrection plan. Trump did even think to reverse, he was thinking to reverse the election to his favor. So she's lamenting it. Michelle Barnes says, good morning, everyone. Michelle, thanks for being here. Share the platform, please. Vivian said, love this platform. Go on through, Vivian. We're trying to go, you know, but
when is our
platform, Vivian? Me want to know though.
when in our history, as a president left office and so much people in got prison. Do you know that out of this?
Well, not even a days I pirate. But God.
Yeah, we need to look and think a little bit more, guys. I mean, whomever, if you're a Jamaican, come on the show here and come tell me say you're a Republican. I would block you. Because there's no
you want to understand why you want to be that way. So without blocking you, I have to go explain to you. But after that, I'm going to beat you.
Your brain. There's nothing that you can tell me because we are coming from a country that was royally oppressed and still are. We still are. When they don't give Louis Bennett and Bob Marley national hero and the creator a space so that they don't have to give them give them a national icon. Me have a problem with that too. Because that sound like colonialism. And then me and this, listen, Diana, don't get me, don't draw me tongue this morning. Okay?
Draw your tongue, Masleo. Take time,
Okay.
remember blood pressure high and no feel medicine in my run back. So no medicine to take right there, California. So I try to early time make
Yes. Yes.
Hi.
It's yes.
And Cheryl, raise the project 2025. Cheryl, project 2025. You know, you're the man saying a film project. in this only right away.
Cheryl, I have never been so partisan in my entire life. I don't generally talk politics. Yes, in America, I don't do that. I don't talk politics at Jamaica. Worse, right? Probably with my friend them one-on-one and thing, but not publicly. And so, but this time in our lives, right now, is a very pivotal. This election is a very pivotal election. One that we need to put a lot of things. I don't mind being, what you call it, partisan today. Please, accept me today as I am.
It's all right, Leo. Calm down. Go. You know, no coconut water with little lime juice.
I tell you, I want to go doctor now because I know my heart rate. I go.
No, get little coconut water, young coconut, and squeeze some lime in it. Good for blood pressure. They say a lot of the Make America Greats will cut off their hand to spite their face. They might cut off more than their hand. They might try to cut off your too. Calm down, Leo, says Paulette. Calm down. Cheryl, she had a fair word, but she can't vote. Oh, Cheryl, me can't vote more than once, but me sure vote and the whole of the household vote. Serious times in these United States, says Juliet. It's sad. Serious times It don't have to be as sad as the prospect makes it look. And I do know that I believe the polls that keep coming out and saying it's even kill, it's even
I
kill.
don't believe it
I
either.
don't believe it either. I think Kamala
Not
is
at all.
winning, and they don't want to say that Kamala is winning. You know, business.
Well, the
We
polls, the news and the media people them want
you know,
the
when they
thing
get
to
the
keep
polls
going,
from,
you know.
nobody will come on my yard and
But
ask me no
they do
question.
want you to come out and vote. They do want you to come out
All
and
right,
vote, and
well,
that's why they
tell
keep
me
it like
you
that.
must come out and vote, but if and you don't want me to get comfortable, but that's fine.
Yes.
See, Mr. Man, come VP Records in the house. Right, we have a guest today. We have
Richard,
a guest behavior for the next half an hour. We have a guest who coming in here.
No.
Yeah, we're not a guest.
You don't have to behave.
We're not to be here.
No, I agree with you. By the way, I agree with you.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, it all, that's what I told that we would talk about stuff, not just music.
Right.
So I agree with you because that's how the media manipulate, right?
yes, yes.
It controls. I'm in the media business, right?
Okay.
Technically.
All right. So before we get into it, and I'm happy that you're here. Let me just read.
Okay, I'll introduce him.
Yes, and then
I-
you'll introduce him after I read
Right.
the comments. Let me just get these comments out of the way. Serious
Yes.
times in the United States, says Juliet. It's sad. The Republicans are doing over 80 polls. They might they could have polled till the morning come. Juliet says serious that the media is a piece of work. Yeah, man. Agree with you guys. The polling is strategic. I don't believe in polls, says the one Karen She. All right. Karen, we're going to switch gears a little bit and we will come back to politics if we must.
He can talk politics too, so no worry
Yeah,
yourself.
because
Eventually we will. Eventually we will. But Cheryl, Leo is
We
going
want to go back into history a little bit, right? Yes.
we're going to
So listen, there's a CC man, Montegonian. No,
no, Cornwall
There's
College. That's the
there
real
is no
CC.
such thing. When I say
I
CC,
never block you, I know you know.
if I listen, when I refer to the college down in Clarendon, I say Clarendon College. When I say CC, I mean Gonian, Montego Bay, okay? Cornwall College.
CC for life.
Maybe accept it.
Met Richard some years ago, and we did a lot of work together when he worked at Air Jamaica. He was manager for special projects in the United States, Caribbean, and all across the United States. And he actually hired me as a consultant to Air Jamaica back in 2004. And I worked for Air Jamaica for 5 years. Really, really nice days. As Air Jamaica did some really good work in community, trying to make sure that we were flying back to Jamaica on Air Jamaica and not on any other airlines, And so Richard was a very, very influential person with the airline. He left back in 2004, 2005, somewhere there. And now he's with VP Records as an executive. Welcome, Richard. Welcome. It's been a while since we've talked, but no matter how long we are separated, we're still friends, and it's welcome to the show. This is Diana Davis Smith. In chat enough, so nobody PR no mind, just start.
No, PR come in here, Richard. Where you come from? Which part in the town you come from?
Me, Bobby. No man. Here's the thing. Before I answer that question, right? And you have to put things into perspective. Usually when I come on these kind of talk shows, because people really have to understand. Leo and I met really in California. So you have to understand the perspective now.
Yeah, man.
Right? Where you only had about 20,000 Jamaican people.
Yes.
And only probably, back in those days, probably only 10% of us admit that we were Jamaicans.
Yes, no, I admit so we're Jamaican.
No, because there was that big Jamaican community because we spread out all over California.
Yes.
The majority of us that are what we call blended into the African American, or if we light skin, the Latin American. You know what I mean? Cause we can fit. We're like chameleons. We fit anywhere we go. I got to Anchorage, Alaska, go find a Jamaican, and when him, it's funny, you hear my talk, and then when him realize, say, I'm a Jamaican, the patois just come out. I'm saying, hide. It's like he was just dying to speak patois. And then he took me to the one Jamaican restaurant. And they said, I hope them not jerk moose.
I did that. Okay, so now I did that.
You jerk moose?
I jerk moose. I jerk deer.
But then they're tough. Anyway,
it's the young one. So when it came out, they gave it to me in some little squares like that, and I seasoned it up. It tastes alright, but it is strong. It was strong, much like 10 times the goat rankness. 10 times.
That's why we don't jerk goat, because I just too tough. I have to boil it, then jerk it. But anyway, so I say that so that people understand that the perspective is a little different sometimes when poor Leo talk from the Jamaican, California, West Coast side versus, and then, from California, I lived in New York City, lived in South Florida, and now work in New York and Queens, but live in Connecticut.
Oh, you live in Connecticut? Jesus Christ, they can't keep up with you.
So my perspective also is very different, than and I have a perspective from seeing our community, because especially what we used to do at Air Jamaica, where my responsibility as director of special markets and was for the diaspora.
Yes. Richard, you brought out something that was very important and that a lot of us either don't remember, don't recall, or we didn't know. But there was a time when I was in California where no one wanted to be Jamaican. Nobody. They don't want to see the green, gold, and black because then thinks the police are going to lock them up. They didn't want to do it because then thinks Jamaican are all weed smokers and Rastaman, and they don't want to be associated with it. And all that. So it was really horrible. And so, Richard, we had a discussion this morning about Bob Marley and what Bob Marley has done for Jamaica across the world. Now, everybody in the world, even non-Jamaicans, want to be Jamaican.
No. But come on, Leo, in California, right? And just to put things once again into perspective, we're talking about the 85, 86, 87, coming off of the whole political situation in Jamaica, and when say people runway, right?
Runway,
and then if you end up in California, you're gone far.
Yes.
Right? Because for you to decide, there's definitely reasons why some of us end up in California. I was placed there by the Jamaican government, of which I was very grateful. I worked for the Jamaica Tourist Board at the time. Now, you have to understand, that the white people always embraced the black, green, and gold. That's the thing. Even when we reject it, and it is because of reggae music and Bob Marley and the culture that they emulate. Because what people tend to forget, right? And my other background for the listeners and those of you who know me, I grew up in tourism. My mother was the first female president of Jamaica Tourist Association. If everybody remember a place named The Cave in Montego Bay back in the 70s, right? And Seawind Beach Resort was the first hotel that really embraced locals back in the early 70s, in an all-inclusive and all of that, where we actually had entertainment. So my perspective, like I said, is multifaceted. So other than the people, I use the term runway just because, for the purpose of conversation, not to disrespect anybody, right? Because we all know that we all live and have different experiences as Jamaicans from the 60s to
Richard,
now.
you don't have to be coy about that. In 1978, 79, Michael Manley tell people, say, listen, there are 5 flights from Jamaica to Miami. Take it if you leave.
But I say proudly that I was one that didn't take the flight. My father.
Okay.
So my perspective is also from that perspective.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of Jamaicans that saved the tourism industry during that period.
because it was bad.
That's why at that time I worked for the Jamaica Tourist Board. And you talk about rejection. I would walk into places in to sell Jamaica, right? In Los Angeles, in California, in Washington State, in Oregon, and the lady would see me coming in with the Jamaica bag, and I'd walk in, the travel agent, and she'd say, "Oh, you're with you're Jamaica, right?" And they say, I go, "Yes, ma'am, and I'd like to leave some." She says, "No, don't even leave it." I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "No, we don't sell Jamaica." Right?
Yes, I know that too.
Because I understand that's where you guys you don't like what American people don't do. This happened to me, right? The funny thing, and there's a when we talk about us as Jamaicans, right? The funny thing, 2 years ago, after that, I would go back into that same travel agent, and I was welcomed.
Yes,
right?
Discomfort. Yes.
No, I was welcomed. And I go,
Yeah.
I sit down and I talk to the lady, right? And the first thing I look on in the travel agent was a Super Clubs poster. And I'm saying, what? And then I reminded her, say, how come you're 2 years ago, you remember you threw me out of your travel agency? She said, and she never really remember, I said, so but you sell Jamaica now? She said, no, I sell Super Clubs. I don't sell Jamaica.
Guys, let me take some comments. Juliet says, I want back Air Jamaica, please. Good morning, Richard, and welcome. Jackie says, I miss Air Jamaica, the prettiest lovebird. That was sad, Leo says, Jackie. That's true, Leo. Yes, that, people weren't identifying. Jean says, yes. Cheryl says, yes, cave at Seawind. Jean Wignall says, doctor.
No, not that cave. But a cave.
Cornwall Beach, that don't exist no more.
Yes, cave at Seawind. I think Cheryl got it right.
Right.
But
yes.
Cheryl should get it right. Cheryl's father is a former mayor of Montego Bay, so she should get it right.
So they know me.
That's that. But I want to ask a little bit about not so much a transition, but want to get back to your days at Cornwall College and where you saw yourself. What made you go into tourism? What was the influence for you?
Well, first of all, I have to tell people this. I'm blessed, right? That's the first thing. You have to understand, and you're going to find that that's why Leo loved me on the show, because I always have stories, right? Because I believe when you answer questions, you got to put things into perspective so people see where you're coming from. It's not about wrong, right. It's your perspective. It's your life and your interpretation. Remember, I'm a Chinaman, half Chinaman. My family come from Holy Mountain up in a Manchester hilltop, right? You go Devon and you go, right? And as a baby,
well, Master, right? Don't ask already for me. You only hilltop me knowing a Montego Bay if you want to carry me go back a South. But go on.
No. Holy Mountain, Manchester. That's where I was born.
Manchester. Holy Mountain.
Yeah.
Now you're talking. Go on.
You know where the pick up pepper factories just turn up and go up the hill, right?
Right. Our Catholic college.
And my story is the typical story of what we call urban China people, right? So my father is a black Jamaican man. Would have him tell him, say, if you talk to him, I'm like a coolie and thing in him, right? He's a French citizen now. That's another whole story, right? And then my grandfather. So he left and went to England, and I was raised by my Chinese family, right? My mother, who's the oldest child, my best friend in life, left the country because she has for like 5 sisters, and 2 brothers. And moved to Montego Bay and became a legal secretary, I think. And that's how she got into working. And then she became a tourism executive secretary at Colony, what used to be Half Moon. And then the family, then I was left in the came.
No, Half Moon, Colony, Half Moon.
Colony was part of Half Moon.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, Colony was 2 separate hotels. And then Half Moon eat it up and became the one massive Half Moon as you have it today, right? So then now the whole family came down, which include me as the first grandchild, right? My oldest uncle was the pastor at First Church of Open Bible in Montego Bay. So I lived with my grandmother and uncle for my first part of my life because my mother was working. Because you asked me how I got into tourism. And I went to boys' school, Coronel Avenue Primary School, infant school. People, Montego can recognize it. Our family lived on a Foster Avenue, so people know us, right? At that point, I lived, and we had a shop down at the market, the Chinese shop. So I grew up in the Chinese
Always
shop.
have to find a place to make a shop.
Right.
We're from Manchester, and God might be able to make shop, but just
And we used to have the shop, right? And it's funny, we used to live above the shop when I was a baby.
Yeah, man,
So get into tourism now. So when I was 11, because after I got to infant school and boys school, not girls school, which is Coronel Avenue Primary School, right? And then I win the scholarship to Cornell College. My mother worked at Upper Deck at the time. So, Upper Deck is right on the other side of the hill to Cornell College. And I went to live with my mother at that time. So that's how my life entered tourism, because I was raised by my mother living in hotels where she was management.
Okay, all right. Hold on a little bit.
And it was a natural transition up the ladder when she got to Seawind and so on.
All right, fabulous. Hold on a little bit for me. Jesse says, good morning, all. Hi, Jesse. How is Mr. Smith doing, please? Cheryl said, I used to work with Air Jamaica. Oh, yes, Cheryl used to work with Air Jamaica too. Barbara Chris says, morning from Trinidad and Tobago, listening to
we have a listener from Trinidad and Tobago. Yes. TNT. Oh, nice. Welcome, Barbara. Welcome.
Yes, Jackie said, blessed and highly favored. Cheryl, she had turned PR upon Fuyer. Welcome, Barbara from Trinidad. Barbara, she said, replying to Cheryl, thank you. But welcome, Barbara. We're happy when people join us and, to share the platform so that we can talk about things that are common to so many of us. Our friend Richard here talking about having a shop as a Chinaman, it is expected. But them have a joke, say, Chinaman no corner in no football match. But I'm going to put build shop. But go on, don't tell me. So after you started there, how did you end up with Jamaica?
So I grew up in the hotel now, right? And even people from Montego Bay understand when Heritage Beach, when Mr. Tony Hart, one of my mentors in life, developed that whole Montego Freeport, they dug out the pier, they used to make the Montego, and dredged it up and made the Freeport Island, right? And then there was a condo out there, Heritage Beach. And at that point, my mother, when Tony Hart and Tony Henry, the general manager at the time, they merged the property and started Seawind Beach Resort, right? That's the short version. I worked there. So I grew up in the business. I worked summertime. As Chinaman come out of the shop, you work. So I lived there with my mother, so I had to work. And then before you know it, we got into, when the club started, I was involved in the entertainment, ran the entertainment, and that's how I was known. And during that time, we would go on trips every now and then with the tourist board to promote Jamaica, right? So
they have a long, hearty story, but we won't get to the other story now. So I'm going to jump a little bit now into BP Records.
No, yeah, go Air Jamaica first, because I want to know why Air Jamaica. Why would you go Air Jamaica?
So then I was with the tourist. After that, I went into the tourist board, and I was placed in California. That's why that's why I met Leo. I was in charge, not in charge, but worked with 13 West Coast states, where places like Washington State, people ask me, say, how many islands in Jamaica? back in, because all they were familiar with was Hawaii, right? And then now, when Air Jamaica, my college degree went to Embry-Riddle in Daytona Beach, is in aviation administration. I wanted to be a pilot like everybody. But once I fly a couple of hours, I realized it wasn't for me. So I did my degree I have a bachelor's in aviation administration and aeronautical studies, right? So with that degree, and then I joined the tourist board. In between there, I run Roadrunner for a year. Remember
Roadrunner? Shoot, Roadrunner, the best ice cream in Montego Bay.
Yeah, my restaurant background too. Anyway, went to Florida, went to California, and then
man, everything you know.
when real Jamaican have enough job. When Mr. Stewart came out to promote sandals, and he had just gotten involved with Air Jamaica, I knew him from then. And the then vice president of marketing, Mr. Alan Chastanet, who is now a politician and former prime minister of St. Lucia, he said, young man, you want to go back to Jamaica? So he said, Mr. Stewart said, come work with me at Air Jamaica. And the rest is history. I went back to Jamaica with the privatization, with the new Air Jamaica. I was general manager for Jamaica. 4 years later, the man look for me and say, no, 2 years later, the man look for me and say, listen, I need you to go to New York. So them shipped me to New York. I became the regional manager for the Northeast. A couple of years later, they said, listen, I need to go back to the Caribbean. I bought a house in Florida. I was in charge of the Caribbean for another couple of years. Then I left and joined back here, Jamaica, for 2 years, worked on the World Cup cricket. We did the movement of that.
Yes, yes.
And then when Air Jamaica went back to the government, I left. I was in Florida.
Yeah.
Then I joined BP Records and moved back to New York.
Diana, you're kind of, we're not hearing you, Diana. Diana. We're not hearing you, Diana. You can go and talk for the rest of the day. We still not hear you. So please take yourself off of mute. You're not on mute? Let me see. Yeah. It doesn't say that you're muted though. How come we're not here then? What you do?
Maybe her mic.
Yeah, it doesn't show that you're muted. We're not hearing you.
Yeah, leave us some
it look like you're signing, but that's not the general signing what we know. All right. So in the meantime, let me go ahead. Yeah, thank you so much, Diana. In the meantime, let me go ahead and take a couple of messages. We have Cheryl says she knew you from Jamaica. And so Cheryl, you're from Montego Bay, I guess. All right. Gene Wignall says, yes, Chinese businessman, best ice road. So Roadrunner was a hangout place for us as young boys and young girls when we take my girl out for ice cream and stuff on a Saturday evening. We got Roadrunner. Remember that, right?
Yeah, Roadrunner is the first Jamaican fully owned American style fast food chain. And we had a lot. I used to run the one right at Barnett Street corner.
At Barnett Street. Oh,
Bay.
okay.
We had two in Montego Bay.
There's one at St. James Street too, right?
Which was Woolworth, yeah.
Woolworth.
And we had one at the Clock.
That's the one that I used to go to. That's right. Okay, all right. And then Cheryl says James is Air Jamaica. Okay, all right, cool. So you worked at Air Jamaica, Cheryl. You know Cheryl, Richie?
If Cheryl wants Cheryl last name, you know enough Jamaican.
Cheryl Stewart.
We know enough Jamaican Cheryl.
So give us. I think most people just here say Air Jamaica shutdown. You have any insights about what caused the shutdown? What really took place?
Yeah. Basic economics, right?
Mm.
And the bottom line is, without getting into the politics and the personal feelings and all of that, Jamaica does not have the economy to sustain its own airline without proper government subsidy. Okay, I'll give you a good comparison. Singapore, population about the same population of Jamaica. They have one of the best airlines in the world. The fleet of Singapore is majority 747, big wide-body jets, of which at least half of them are first class. Right? I don't know what the average fare now, but the average fare back in the day to Singapore from anywhere was thousands of dollars, right? So because of that, they're able to maintain it. It's a business capital. It's a financial capital of the Pacific. Singapore is, as we all know. So their average yield is way, way higher for a small airline, right? Air Jamaica depends on tourism, right? Depends a lot on tourism, which is more of a a low yield pricing mechanism, because you got to have cheaper fares to attach to the hotels so that the tourism product is competitive with Mexico and other destinations close by. So that's really the case. It's economic, and then what has to happen, right?
But remember that Butch had it and it was working.
That working is relative.
Tell me about that. What was the difference between Butch running it and when they took it back from Butch?
No, but the reality, and I'll say because I was part of Butch's team, right? and I said, he's also one of my greatest mentors in life. I mean, I look at this man, you know, Lee. I think about him every day as when it comes to business, right? I think about him every day when it comes to
Can you
business.
hear me?
Because
Oh, there you go
yes,
now. There
better
you go
now.
now, Diana.
Yeah.
We can't hear you now.
The reality, Leo, is if we were successful, Air Jamaica would still exist. So we had a model, and we tried to make the model work, and we were successful on one side. We created one of the best airlines in the world at the time.
You know,
Right?
I
It's
think
just that
we should recreate that.
Just let me finish the thought. Economically, the Jamaica could not sustain an airline of that level.
No, but
Okay.
I think that we're way past that now, though, Richard, with all due respect and experience. I think that when you look around and see so many small scale airline operations, I think that we could
but here,
brand.
no, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and this is the reality that you got to face, right? Back in those days, Jamaicans would not tolerate the Duppy airline service from Air Jamaica. They would go to American Airlines and pay the higher price. If you know what we call the Duppy airline, right? The yellow one, right?
Spirit,
right?
Spirit
And
type.
then the issue, right, of whether it's still the economic sustainability of the airline, because even if we had a low cost carrier, we don't have the volume and the network of hubs in North America and the world to keep those airplanes flying full all the time.
Yeah, I think though, Richard, I think that when Butch Stewart had it, the people pressured the government to take it back without thinking that this was being operated as a business. People can't see that the airline was a business and not for pleasure. It was a business that Butch was operating, and by the time they took it back, why the government take it back? The government can't run airline. That's not their.
No, but Leo.
Hold on, don't respond. Let me take some comments. Have to take my comments. It's comments that keep us engaged. Jean says yes, Chinese businessman, best ice cream, Roadrunner.
Yeah, you read that.
Jean writes, says, hope is settled. No, Uno love your adventures. Story very inspiring. Jamaica is Air Jamaica, Leo. Cheryl says she was in Kingston. I miss Air Jamaica, says Jackie. Singapore Airlines, yes, man. Ethan Holloway says, oh yes, I remember Roadrunner on Barnett Street. So Elaine. Cheryl says, Leo, I knew Richard when he was at Air Jamaica. Okay. You read these messages while I were out?
Only a couple of them. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Jean Wigner says, this is so true. Air Jamaica was the best. Jackie says, I always traveled my Air Jamaica. I might have missed a lot of the conversation, but for me, I think that there's so many small level airlines that are operating seemingly effectively or not profitable, but they're not bankrupt yet.
Yeah.
That the same concept that led to the development of Air Jamaica could drive the recreation of an Air Jamaica, albeit catering to a different kind of a mindset. We are taking Spirit, we are taking we are taking Air JetBlue, we're taking all of those airlines, and I am sure just if something came up there and said Air Jamaica, they're going to.
No, but the reality is that
reality? You keep saying the reality. What reality?
Yeah, economics, right? Basic, and I'm trying to not be emotional. I agree with everything everybody say. I love my Air Jamaica. I was part of the team that came up with that slogan, right? So, and we love seeing there as a Jamaican. But the reality is this, and let's forget the name Air Jamaica. A country like Jamaica cannot sustain a carrier to compete with the Spirits and the JetBlues of the world without proper government subsidy as part of that. It is not, you'd have to have the budget every day and say this is the transportation to keep that airline.
Richard, we ran Air Jamaica from 1969 to 2009. That's 40 years.
But
so it doesn't have, the airline doesn't have to be profitable. It just has to be able to sustain. Yeah. And so if we understand that as the general public and stop putting pressure on
No. Hold on. No.
We can't say that.
No,
we don't need to be a profitable airline.
But
I'm talking real talk, you know.
No, and we're talking real talk.
We'll talk real talk too.
No, but let me just finish and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Right? Just let me tell you. Back in Air Jamaica days, we did a thing, right? And we found that, and this is boring conversation that people don't
No, it's not.
No. It's not sensationalized. But hear this.
We are engaged.
Right? No, we did a survey.
We're ready to cuss you off too. We're ready to cuss you off too.
No. I'm gonna get into the minutia now.
Yeah.
That about 25 airplanes with the optimum fleet for a small carrier to become viable, right? Or break even. That research was done, right? If you're going from 25, you got to go to 50. You can't go to 24, 20. Between 20.
Where the mindset where we need a paradigm shift. Let me tell you, Richard, I reviewed 2 proposals out of Eastern Caribbean for a small startup.
Absolutely.
And I looked at one out of UK, paid reviews for them, and they were starting with 2 pieces of airline.
Can I finish? Let me.
Yes, and all I'm saying. No,
let me just finish. Wait, no, man. Just let me finish.
Don't have to be 25.
No, hold on.
Doesn't have to be 25.
You guys, let me finish.
Finish.
No, because you got to understand. I'm talking about the basic economics. You know, I'll go to the 2 airline model in a minute. Remember, this is what I this is my business for half of my life. So when you have a JetBlue, right? I have a saying in the airline business. What do you call an airplane seat that's not moving?
You tell me if we don't know. We call it empty seat.
Furniture. Furniture.
I mean, that's not different from a store that's selling products. No. But you have to understand. You can't just throw out an empty seat or whatever it is. We are talking. It's a business.
Hold on. Right? Furniture, right? That airplane seat does not become valuable until it's going somewhere.
Just like a plate doesn't become valuable until
the lease. That's why I said this. I'm getting into minutia now. The lease of that airplane have to be paid. So that JetBlue airplane that landed in Montego Bay at 3:00 in the afternoon, started at 3:00 that day in some Topocombe, Mississippi. No, Mississippi or wherever, and has done 7 flights before it landed in Miami to fly to Jamaica, whether it's Kingston or Montego Bay. So they have put 7 different passengers at that one seat with paying an average of $300 at a passenger. And then when they go back, so it is flying for 20 hours out of the day, and then you have maybe 10 hours to check it and clean it up or whatever. So that's the basic economics of running an airline.
We understand that.
No. So once you can make and pay the lease thing, you can then maintain a world-class fleet.
So why can't we?
Okay, but what you're saying, Richard.
I'm going back to the 2-plane model. Let me address that.
Hold on. What you're saying, Richard, is not a business that understands its overhead and can pass on the expenses to its customers. So as long as we understand how much it's gonna cost to lease an airplane, to keep it flying, to keep employees, and we know what that is, and we also know what the cost of our each seat is gonna be and what it takes. Once we plan that, we have a business. If we don't have a business, if you're saying that we cannot establish a business in airline in Jamaica because we think that it's going to be too expensive, then we're not going to do it.
We don't think that.
What we have to do is plan.
Hold on.
No. Let me finish. So before we started Air Jamaica in 1969, we had a plan, and we put that plan into effect. And we run an airline for an extended amount of years.
Okay,
And
no, we're not looking at fair.
until,
No,
hold on, man,
hold on.
just let me done my, don't break me, hold on.
You sound like,
Until
you sound like
when
Trump
we
now.
decided
You
that
sound like
this,
a Trump interview. What happened?
yeah.
Let me not talk over there.
But we respect you when you start talking, so you have to give us the.
But you're making factual. In this, what you're missing is that from the '63 to then,
I am
Air
not
Jamaica
missing anything.
Air Jamaica always had subsidy, whether it's from BA, from wherever. It never
As
flew
a,
and
as
existed
a
on its
part
own.
of as a part of the plan. So if we can't come up with those plans anymore, then we're not gonna have an airline. But if we can come up just like any other plans that we put into place, when we put how much $1 billion in road, do you think we just get the money and just put it down? We have to put a plan together to say how much inch of asphalt we're gonna do, how much car is gonna run on it, and how long this asphalt is gonna last. It's the same thing with the airline.
No,
all right, Richard. Please let Richard is our guest.
Let me finish. Let me just finish.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Richard no come back.
No, we like it. Listen. Let me just get to the point.
All right.
In 07, and listen up. I'm pro Air Jamaica. I was one of the people that was so I'm just trying to be fair with the conversation, because I think we have to be fair, because as the Jamaican government, they made a decision that they were no longer could afford, because if they continue subsidizing Air Jamaica, then the roads wouldn't be built, the schools wouldn't be built, the hospital. We are a third world country. No matter how we think big, we are a developing country, and priorities have to take it. Because I'm telling you this, we can't compete with the pricing, right? And then we did what I'm proud of in the year Mr. Butch Stewart thing at times. We made the world realize that Jamaica is a viable airline destination for any airline, right? The vindication for us is that every route that we started now have multiple airlines servicing it, whether it's JetBlue, whether it's Spirit, whether it's United. Every American airline now and international airline is servicing Montego Bay, because we took the chance and opened a hub. Because of Air Jamaica, there's no airline monopoly in Jamaica anymore. You understand? You can get to anywhere. When you look at any American airline airport now, Montego Bay Montego Bay Airport might as well be in the US. When you look at all the airlines that have, and of course with the hotels that build up and all of that. So we're proud of that as the Air Jamaica team. But the reality is, could Jamaica afford to continue subsidizing a national? Forget the name Air Jamaica. We don't.
Your words of subsidizing don't land very well with me. Guess why?
Why?
Because it shouldn't be a subsidizing. And a business run. A business is really a transactional business. So it's the idea of subsidizing an airline doesn't sound good that we should be running that airline at all.
But there's a limit. There's an alternative, because other than we're at the whim of the airlines, Jamaica is now better serviced by airlift because of all the global connection, and it's not costing Jamaica anything. Just to simplify it. I mean, I would love to see Air Jamaica come back. I cried when Air Jamaica wasn't there. You go back to the 2 airline. I just want to address that. There's a lot of small carriers. Yes, that's a viable right there. When you talk about the Caribbean regional carrier, because one of the things that I learned from the cricket, right? The Cricket World Cup, I was challenged, and the government owned Air Jamaica at the time, right? And I was called by the president. I'd left and they asked me to come back to run the transportation for the Cricket World Cup. And it was one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life. We were responsible for moving the teams, what they call the TOMs, officials, media, and sponsors, right? I was given the authority, literally, of the Jamaican government through Air Jamaica to run all the airlines. I was given Caribbean Airlines seats. I was given Caribbean Star Airline at the time. And I was in charge of the regional airlift movement. I still have my files now because I keep it. It was one of the best logistically things that has ever been done. You can ask anybody throughout the Caribbean. We carried everybody. We didn't leave a team. We did not, no team was late. There was no team lost their baggage, none of that stuff. And it was a fully Caribbean thing run
Mhm.
from Kingston, and I cooperated with BWE at the time, Caribbean Airlines, Carib Star. We had 12 charters going between Kingston and Montego Bay, Kingston and Barbados for the finals. We moved thousands of people from India when Air Jamaica flew to London at the time. You know, it was a phenomenal success. But that was a one-shot deal, and we could
Yes.
now you have
Why, Richard? Why can't we transpose that capacity, that knowledge, that experience where we have executed with such efficiency to deliver on this and make
And we should wrap after this, because then we should go to VP after this, right?
well,
Yeah, yeah.
it's going to be very short.
one
Jane.
question.
No,
One
no,
question.
you
One
can't
answer.
question
One
me.
answer. Sorry, one answer. One answer. That's why the West Indies cricket team can't work.
What do you mean by that?
Individual
Because
nationalists,
individual-
different budgets, different
because
governments,
individualistic
different
and not
different priorities.
All right, I get you and I understand. Let me take some comments. We never had the network, and even government stopped using Air Jamaica for their persons on duty travel. June says this is the first time we have an opportunity to get concrete information. Please let your guest complete his thought.
Diana, you hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying?
June, you work with the guests, you know, me and watch your man. We need marketing skill like other airlines. Yes, we need some of that. Jennifer says, I'd like to hear why the Air Jamaica went defunct. Well, you're here now. Cheryl says, amen. Ev Ellis says, please allow the guest to complete his thought. They might try to keep good house with we, you know, Leo. Like that. And Dr. Jody De La Plata is here. She says, good morning, all. Nice to see you on. A wonderful guest, guys. Where's Michelle? She says.
But let me leave that message. Michelle says she's not feeling well.
Who is Dickie?
Richard.
Richard, your name Dickie? Oh, because Jody
Yeah.
saying hi to you, and she said, hi,
Yeah,
Dickie.
she know me from long time, from Dickie Lou. Dickie Lou.
All right, you come here and tell me your full name. Barbara says the Jamaican spirit on a roll. She probably did with love. June says, I hope your guest writes the book. I'm disappointed that someone who has the experience and has been on the ground cannot complete his thoughts. So people who are uninformed like me can become informed. June, look here. Then when we're making don't talk now.
Exactly.
Faith Graham says, good morning. Faith, finally wake up. All right, Faith, we're happy to have you. Send me a piece of poetry so I can read too. And Johnny says, yes, Dickie, there is economics of scale and lack of support and loyalty from passengers, especially traveling Jamaicans. Plus, maintenance, investment, and innovative and practical management of competitiveness. The bottom line.
Yeah, we are very hard on ourselves as Jamaicans all the time. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
very hard.
When we have something, it's like we just kill our own selves.
Yes.
If you follow like Twitter and the other social medias, when you look down there in Jamaica, you think that Jamaica the worst country in the world, you know, because of all of the things that some of these people say about their own leaders, or about their own. I mean, they're really hard on you, and not like any other country. It's really bad. And it appears that we know more than the people who are doing the things. It's really bad.
Give me 1 second.
All right.
I'm here. I'm here.
While Dickie takes a break, guys, I thank you very much for being so actively involved
Listening.
in the discussion, and for making back your comments and to guide us to tell us that we must shut up and
True.
and to be kinder to our guests. Our mother very good at us, so when guests come, you must treat the guests then good. But sometimes you have to ribby guest them and
Of
No,
course,
in all fairness, me and Leo is like family, so cousin at that. So.
If you want to think more about Leo and not include me, I go take care.
Yes, you too. Yeah, but we can become family. Listen, and to your listeners, I've said to Leo and you now, I'm available anytime just to talk life, because I've been blessed to have a very interesting perspective.
Okay.
And I have an open, and I just want to say one thing, you know, about Jamaicans, right? We put up with mediocrity from others, but we hold ourselves to a high standard, and that's a blessing and it's a curse. It's a blessing. It's a blessing in the fact that that's why we are so influential. I tell people that Jamaica, as a community, is the most influential community in the world per capita. And I beg anybody to argue with me on that. And that's good, bad, and indifferent, you know? So we're proud.
You know, one time, Richard come back California. We came to one of our brunches, and he was our speaker, right?
Mm.
And this is how bad it was in California at the time. In the 400 people brunch, Richard asked one question: how much of Uno have been back to Jamaica in the last 10 years? And there were 5 people put up their hand.
Oh no.
Yeah. And that told me a story that we were so disconnected from Jamaica. It was unbelievable. And we are still our biggest critic. The people who don't go to Jamaica don't understand what's going on in Jamaica. When you see them and hear them talk, it's like them know. And it's unfortunate that they have not been back there for a long time and they have so much talk. And we are asking people, no matter where you are in the world, always take a trip back home. No matter what you see go under the news, no matter how much war you see, Jamaica is your own land. You know? Jamaica, you're born, Jamaica where you grew up, and it belongs to you and you belong to it. So go home all the time.
Yes, and even the other second and third generations who probably weren't born here, but just by affiliation, you need to touch base with your culture and understand your heritage.
I think the key is for us to be open-minded as it relates to Jamaica, because those of us who love Jamaica, you know, the ones that have this taste, some of us have, you know, not the best memories, right? And there's a certain percentage that is illegitimate because they have endured trauma. But over the years, we have come here, and like I talk about my growing up in, you know, at going to girls' boys' school and Coronel Avenue Primary and running around barefoot at, you know, you know, Pastor Avenue in Montego Bay. That's not negative, but some of us look at that as negative because they say you were of modest means. No, that was our means at the time. So, but if you look back at the fact that there was one bathroom and a 7 we living at the house, and there was no hot water, there was no air conditioning, then that is what we some of us look back at as negative childhood and say, well, I mean, I'll go back there and I'll go live like that. But at the time, it was not. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand. I understand. It's everybody's their own realities that they face.
Right, but and that is what when I say that they need to understand their heritage, because you grew up with those kind of conditions, or I grew up with particular condition, don't mean that it still remains in that state forever. You have to go back and appreciate that there is going to be growth from one generation to the next, and we have to enable that with a positive contribution.
Absolutely.
And my positive contribution is to adopt that. Yes, my grandmother had to walk barefooted or so and so and so and so and so, but it's my culture. We don't do that anymore, but this is my heritage and I need to be proud of it. I think we need to.
And guess what? That's why she lived till she was 92.
You see, she embraced her heritage and she walk.
On a different note, one of the questions I asked Dan this morning, because me never hear about Wayne Marshall until he get OD last year, right? How is it that Wayne Marshall got an OD last year and we have to wait one more year to get Bounty Killer and Beenie Man, who have been on that platform since 1990, 1999, 91, 92, and then now they must see the light that them needed to get the OJ? Why is it that it takes so long? Tell me. Right. VP has something to do with that. Tell me.
VP, don't answer that yet. Let me just Richard, Dickie, don't make them dry out here. Jackie says true Jamaicans are the best. Jamaicans are the best. Jamaican nice, says Jean Wignall. Kamisha Thompson says these were the best days ever. Johnny says so true about influential. However, we need to filter on social media, and it is not everything inside we must broadcast outside, especially to strangers in the world. Doreen says nothing like round a yard. I love that. Not like round a yard. Jackie says I love my Jamaica. If Trump wins, he's going to send us back home. Vote people.
True.
Jean says, Richard, you still have a luxurious life. What about the outside toilet and kitchen? You know, don't forget to mention those. Who is
Yeah,
Win?
country, we had those. Yes, we had those. The pit toilet.
Yes, and there's somebody was telling a story about having the pit toilet in the days, and when you go out there, you have to light the newspaper and run
We
it.
don't want to go down that line there. I'm me tell the story there.
No, you have to light the newspaper.
Oh my God.
Who is Win? Says
We have some other people on there. There's well, Cheryl alone upon me. Okay, I see Cheryl. Oh, you do Cheryl, Miss that's Jamaicans.com. There's some other comments on my page that we're not reading. So
they
just
don't
hold on, let me get it real before Richie go on. Hold on a second. Garfield Sheriff, good evening to you, Garfield. It's good to see you. I guess that's it. Me not see nobody else. Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Dickie, we ask, you know, somebody asked who is Wayne Marshall. Dickie's other hat is that he's the vice president at Dickie. You never said that when Leo introduced you. Where are you now?
Hold on. I think, am I on twice? I was trying to look at something.
Oh,
Twice where?
Where am I?
We not see you now.
You're here. You're here with us.
He frozen.
Hold on. Let me leave and come back.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Hold
Miss
on.
Pearly grandson talked about the outside toilet. Yes, Claudette, thank you very much. Miss Pearly grandson said, oh, I feel like the newspaper and pass it around the room for run a cockroach them so that he could use the toilet. And Miss Pearly grandson are gone good now. Jean Wignall says, welcome, Karen Francis. Welcome, Karen. Karen, how do you
Okay.
He's in New York, says Jackie. Who in New York? Pearly grandson?
I don't know.
Jackie, who you talk about the New York? Richard need to help and come back because he's
on. He's back. I'm bringing him.
I'm not seeing myself. I'm hearing double. I think I'm on 3 times.
Hold on. I'm gonna take off one of them. Richard, hold on.
Mm-hmm. Take off. Yeah, see him there now. You lost him
All
again.
Uh-oh. All right, 1 second, Richard.
Johnny De La Plata, good to see you. You must come join us one of these months. And guys, it's an
okay.
open
There you
invite.
are.
One come here one morning for come talk and make we interrogate you on be host. Please come and be our guest in this space. Just send you a note and say you want to come on. All right, good.
All right. So I'm hearing an echo.
You are because you're on twice. Yeah, you're on twice, but I muted one of them, so you can get off of the one.
No, echo. Let me leave and see one.
You have to leave. Just leave one. Oh. Yeah. There you go. And then I can bring you in back on this one now. I'll bring you back in now.
Yeah, please.
So there you are. You're there now, but you have to turn on your camera.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing you guys.
You have to turn your camera on.
No.
What's your camera? You have to.
My camera is on.
Make Richard go out fully now and then come back.
Just get out. Get out fully, Richard.
Yeah.
Just sign out.
Get off of that line that you're on right now.
Barbara says our Caribbean island is blessed. It's nice to go back to how it.
Okay, so we have some other people on, Diana.
You're not hearing me?
And there's a guy there's Paul Wilson. Carlene Ann says good morning. Tat says good morning, everybody.
Okay.
Jeffrey Tavares.
Ooh, Mr. Tavares.
Good morning, Doc and Mr. Leo. Paul Wilson says, Leo, are we really to believe that Bolt and the others will not be getting back those amounts of Lord, when I get this, so we know. He says the number of GOP stalwarts coming out clearly is good evidence. Somebody said that. Greetings from Sylvanus over in Canada and Nordia Teep over in Jamaica. Good morning. Well, I'm not so sure if Nordia she's in Jamaica now because you see her all over the world. Every day you see her, she's there somewhere else. Morning, Sylvanus. Morning, Paul. Morning, Nordia.
Morning, Sylvanus. Sylvanus, you must come in here so we can see you, man.
Yeah, I don't know why not come. Wait, come on, punish show, Sylvanus. Let me see if I can bring Richard back in now. We have another hour to go, Sylvanus. Come on, punish show. Hurry up.
Yeah, I'm back now.
Here you are.
I won't touch anything anymore. So go ahead.
Please don't. So we are asking the question now. What is it that made somebody, VP Records, give Marshall the OD? And I said VP
Somebody
Records.
nominated Wayne Marshall. Somebody nominated Wayne Marshall.
So I don't get it. Why is it that
all right,
we have to wait another year?
Let me preface this by saying
it's an annual award.
I'm going to be objective.
Yes.
Because I have certain rules, right? When I speak in public, I don't talk about individual artists or anything, because this is a very touchy situation, especially when you're talking about people's, their intellectual property, right? So, and you have to understand, I work amongst all of these artists, whether they're signed to VP Records or not. Yes. So let me speak in generality how the music business works, and especially with about us as Jamaicans, right? Without calling out any individual artist.
Yes.
All right. The issue really is this: we as Jamaicans have to realize that we're not the world.
You lie.
So because an artist is popular in the Jamaican diaspora, doesn't necessarily mean he's popular within the world.
Yes.
All right. So you get people, artists that has had one hit that has impacted the world. And everybody said, but why this person has gotten this thing? And I'm just using this song, this artist. He's not signed to us. We have nothing to do with it. But everybody remember a song named Cheerleader by an artist named Omi.
Yes,
right?
yes,
No
yes,
matter
yes,
where
yes,
you go,
yes, everybody know the song.
that no matter Jamaican or not,
Yes.
right? So all of a sudden, that song has impacted the world.
Yes.
Right? We as Jamaicans might say, but this brother, I don't know him, I don't see him, because I don't see him on this, I don't see him on that. But it has impacted the world. And the people, I would assume, that are looking at these things to give these awards are looking at that. So then, here's the other issue, right? When it comes to the music business and Jamaica as a community, what I call the hypocrisy, right? People need to remember that Bob Marley never got a #1 hit in Jamaica until after he died.
Really?
So when we hear this, yes. So when I'm hearing these people want to embrace Bob, now I just shake my head. Remember, we grew up in this thing.
Explain that for us. Why?
Don't explain on.
Because me have not take it on now. Richard, me are your brother, but me are take it on right now. Because it sounded like you are saying that Bob Marley is not deserving because he didn't have a #1 hit.
No, I said the hypocrisy of the community.
Oh, okay. Because
man, hey, this brother is a Trump stand up. I tell you, him sound like him should have a Fox News interview.
You are something else. Bob Marley had some really. You remember the song we called One Drop? Go ahead. Me Bex.
Take the message then.
Yes, take the message then. Good morning, Vicky Maston Thompson. Good morning.
All right. Ooh. Yes, Dr. D. As soon as the government contract and I will gladly join, says Joni. Fine, I extended invite for people to join us. The war started, so we need to be serious about our islands to be a better, safer place. We all love our own. Oh, I know that song. Truth, Dickie, truth. Leo, listen, please, says
Oh, what did Dickie say? I hope you not take up Dickie because he's good looking, you know. Okay.
Well, that more so that. Teresa Townsend says, "Good morning, everyone." But Dickie, your point on and spot on in saying that there is indeed a hypocrisy. Know that the rest of the world has indicated their embrace or evidence their embrace of the adoption, then everybody's seeking to advance it. You have some strident people who've always supported it, like Leo, who understand music. And I think that, yes, and people like you and the VP executives, they understand music. But I think that there are too many wagonists, so to speak, who are now saying yes, but don't truly understand the contribution of his music to nation building.
So, but what I was getting at, right? There are certain artists, especially in the 90s, right? that were very popular, right? But back then, when we used to listen to these things, the same upper middle class and some up class Jamaican, if you know the one that we're talking about, put up their nose.
Yeah.
The same one of them that is jumping to Bounty Killer today and Beenie Man
Absolutely.
today and say, boy,
Absolutely.
90s dancehall is the time.
Absolutely.
Back in those days, they were
I
like,
didn't want anything to do with them. I agree.
So while some of those guys were big, very few songs really broke out into the next
International
level.
market. Mhm.
Right? No. And then when you really look at influence, and I don't know how they choose these things because I'm not involved in it. But I would assume, because the question is, why would Wayne Marshall? He had a major global hit. So and he's one of those things. Another song that people wouldn't even realize that also created history when it comes to back in the 90s that broke out, was Egyptian and
Hold your thought there. Let me ask you about, go back to Wayne Marshall and that global hit. Which song was that again? You remember?
At the Google it.
Okay.
There's so much of them.
The reason I see,
there's some of them, but it's
the reason I stop you.
My brain.
The reason I stop you because I know the hypocrisy that you're talking about, right? Because if we think about it, even if Wayne Marshall, because we never hear about Wayne Marshall and thinking get the thing, even if Wayne Marshall has the biggest global hit in the world, right? Think about this for a minute. He just arrived.
No.
Do we?
No.
You say no? Tell me, because anybody know about Wayne Marshall? Because we know about Bounty Killer and
Wayne Marshall has been around long time, bro.
Doing his big hits.
Yeah, I just wanted to be factual, right? The man a few hits and a big one. My brain just.
My point.
You had me talking about Air Jamaica. You had me talking about Air Jamaica, so my mind and then there's a flip. I'm 63, you know. But without talking about the specifics, guys, I'm saying to you, this is how this thing works. Because I'm just explaining to you. The thing is why people get awards versus not. Let's talk about the great Jimmy Cliff. Jimmy Cliff's been filling stadiums in Africa, places like that for years, as a producer that has produced some of the largest concerts in Jamaica. You know that I was involved with Air Jamaica Jazz and Blues that had international artists. When we decided to put somebody like a Jimmy Cliff, a Maxi Priest, well, Maxi is different, but a Jimmy Cliff
different.
on that stage is not for the Jamaicans, it's for the foreigners that to come to Jamaica to see Jimmy Cliff, because Jamaicans have never really embraced Jimmy Cliff as an artist.
Not his music.
His music. So that's what I'm saying. This thing about giving awards, right? And in the meantime, the other aspect of it is it's now, thank God, a lot of the artists are finally giving back to their communities. A lot of these guys have grown up, and a lot of the
change their styles, they change the way they operate, and now they're respected citizens, right?
No, I'm very proud of them because they're giving every one of them the school drives there, and so from the positive side, that is great. Everybody will get their turn. And as long as it's fair. I don't know how the nomination for the OD get, right?
Okay. You see me start off blaming you right off the bat. Say VP caused this OD thing. I'm just kidding. I was just kidding.
I know you were. But I'm just saying the important thing is that for us as locals to embrace our music. There are multi-genres of reggae music. There's roots reggae. There is 90s dancehall, which is dominant right now in the overseas market. There's dubwise. There is the new, what I call contemporary dancehall. And guess what? If we as a community do not embrace it, stream it. That's the problem right now. We don't stream as a community.
And I think that was the problem that Canada was having. If you recognize earlier this year, the Juno Awards dropped reggae music pretty much. They found out their error still, but that's why Canada was having that kind of problem, because they weren't streaming. They weren't pulling those down. They're doing a lot of shows and stuff, but they weren't streaming the music.
Right. And what has happened is that the consumption of our music has moved now from being a niche thing to a global thing.
The global
And
thing.
what has happened, it goes back to the economies of scale now. Again, remember the Air Jamaica conversation, right? Those of us that we call authentic Jamaicans don't stream enough to even dent the overall streaming numbers of what is now global reggae music.
Yeah.
And the reason we don't do that is because we're not connected to the technology.
We are not.
Me and you are the same age, right? Me and you are the same age.
Yeah. Me older than you, man. Stop it.
Okay, I'm 63. You're what, 79, right? What is on your playlist?
Yeah, man. I have mystery music, man. Listen.
Okay,
but not everybody is like me. Not everybody's like me.
The average Jamaican, our age, middle age and above, that love berries. Yes. I can speak about berries. Berries is everybody's favorite. Love it dearly.
Yeah.
They in their catalog, them probably have the last CD and still I listen to Rockaway.
Right. Yes.
They don't know that berries put out that album 4 years ago, and nobody going to the store to buy a CD anymore. Nobody going to. You gotta now stream it. So here you have the Jamaicans our age. We're not technologically advanced, so we don't stream. And then the first generation, second generation, see the CD them there.
He's saying put up the CDs. Don't buy.
But stream. So our children now, hold on, that still have a link to Jamaica that do stream. The reggae genre that they listen to is just at 10% of their overall listening habits. So when you look at our children's playlist, they might listen to 10 reggae artists, and if they have 100 songs on that playlist, only 10 is reggae. So our age people in Jamaica, people in the Caribbean must start streaming the music, become part of the economic viability of the music. Stream Jamaican artists, stream Caribbean-based artists. Because you know what these people do? Let me finish the thought. They take the dancehall rhythms to America, put Americans on them, call it hip-hop, and then play it on the radio and don't play our originals.
But Dickie, me want to tell you that sometimes when I attempt to stream Jamaican content, it really is. I can't understand it.
It's true.
I just don't understand.
Okay. Let me tell you. That means you don't understand how the streaming works. Let me tell you how the streaming works.
No, I understand.
No, he's saying that you don't understand the lyrics.
No, you don't. Let me finish.
I understand the streaming how it works.
No, because you wouldn't say that.
No, but I'm telling you the truth. When I go and said a while ago, I went to look for Wayne Marshall's song, and something came up with him and Cartel. That is, I didn't even know that they had a collaboration. But clearly,
okay, wait a minute. But where were you streaming? Where did you look for it? Where did you look for it?
When I hear what Diana say, where
did you look for it, Dan? Dan, where did you look for it?
No, that was not streaming. I just simply went into Google and asked it to identify it for me. All right. Then I went to YouTube directly and asked it to identify for me. I didn't go to Spotify. I didn't go into my things. I didn't go to
Spotify and Apple.
But
YouTube is.
But Richard, I don't necessarily agree with Richard here because I think people will listen.
Average person who want music, who have no subscription to no Spotify, have no subscription to my Apple playlist, who have no subscription to my Amazon playlist, them going to Google or them going to YouTube.
Absolutely. Because it's comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, let me finish the thought.
Messages first. Don't respond. Don't lose your thought, though.
All right, let me finish that thought because I'm going somewhere.
Yes, and I know you're going somewhere. Teresa says, good morning, everyone. That's true. Growing up, we couldn't even listen to Bob Marley in the home, says Paulette. Your music give messages. Now it's coming to pass. Call them prophets. And I suppose they're referring to Bob Marley. Replying to Paulette, somebody says, I just lost that. Okay. Yep, the hypocrisy is not just in music. Jamaicans are very biased. Yes. Somebody says I'm a Trini, and lots of Jamaican music is played in my home, says Barbara. Christian reggae, Carlin Davis says Jackie. I I'm 63 also and proud to look great, says Barbara. She's over. Dickie, you're right, says Barbara. Barbara, you just come if you tell Dickie say look good and he right. Lauren says Spice type of lyrics too much for me, and a lot of the other new artists. I cannot say myself open-minded, but yes, Spice Campbell raunchy, yes. Barbara says I have to listen to a number of times. Just YouTube, girl. Just you. I go to Google for everything. Yes, that's what we do. But go
Okay.
ahead now, Richard.
All right. So let me just finish the thought, right? You notice I answer in process and get to a point, because I think, once again, perspective, and people need to fully understand.
Yes.
Remember enough, this conversation started economics. So
Yes.
what I was going to get to is that, yes, we all stream YouTube because it's free.
Yes.
Okay, and that's the easiest. But that's and YouTube, you have to stream 10 times as much to create $1.
Okay.
Because that it doesn't go back to the payment. So the YouTube streams are good, but it still does not necessarily impact as much as it should the royalties and stuff for the artists, right? But here's
that's
the
why we
point.
need the education, though, Richard.
Yeah, well, this is why I'm talking.
Yeah.
Right. So this is why I'm getting to the point here.
Yeah.
So think about this. You talk about can't afford a subscription.
Yes.
Back in the day, once a month, Leo, you'd go into the record shop and you drop a $20, $30, $40 on some CD and some album. Not true. On a Saturday morning.
Yeah, man.
Right? Subscription now is $4.99 or $5.99 for Spotify a month. And
Okay,
you get,
so
hold on. And you get unlimited music, right? What it is to solve your problem, Diana, is it's called the algorithm. If you use Spotify and Apple consistently and you listen, there's a thing called the radio feature. So we go back to Barry Salmon. You said play Barry's radio. If you don't know what it is, all you have to do is say play Barry's. And Spotify will then, or Apple will pick artists of similar genre, similar style. And eventually, when you go now, it don't serve you up music you don't understand. It serves you up. And if you are a Barry's fan, or a Christopher Martin, or a Romain Virgo, or a Carlene Davis fan on Spotify or Apple, when the next new song come out, you get what is called, every Friday I check what is called my release daily on Spotify. And it serves up all, and it serves all the new songs from my favorite artists.
How much for Spotify per month?
I think it's $11.99 or something like that. I just put it, I recur. So, and not only that,
how much is YouTube per month?
Free, but yeah, but that's the problem, why you still have to weed through what you have with YouTube.
It is the reason why the majority of Jamaicans, and particularly my age range and a little bit older, will go to YouTube because it is cheaper. I go to Spotify because I know the education content of it. But my aunt who lives over in Manchester Hills don't care about that. She wants to find something to listen to. She's going to
YouTube. We're talking apples and orange. Yeah. We're talking apples and orange, guys.
No, right? but Spotify is free also, but you have to listen to ads.
One platform, the TuneIn and the Spotify and those other streaming they're all about transactional music, transactional algorithm, and maximizing profits. That's what that is. Yeah. And people most times people who are looking for music are always looking for the best value for their dollar, and so they're attracted to YouTube because YouTube give them free content all day long and they don't have to even think about it. And so what you're saying, Richard, is that if we want the value of Jamaican music to spread wider and spread quicker among the bigger genres out there, then we have to stream. That's what you're saying, right? We have
to because here's the thing, right? We are the largest, and I'll give you positive progress,
Richard. And let me just caution that this is going to be final comment on this section.
Okay.
I need to move into my other phase of life.
And then, I've been on with you long enough. We can come back and talk. But here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing, right? Because this is, I'm glad that we're going to end on this note.
Yes.
Over time, right? 4 years ago, Spotify and Apple was not in Jamaica. And then, so therefore, they were not in Jamaica, right? And 2 to 3 years ago, they finally come. So I'm seeing that now. So it also affects things like the Grammy nominations. It also affects things like the Billboard charts.
Yes.
So we're
Yes.
right. So therefore, we as a community have no influence on what the commercial decisions that are made for the music, because our numbers are not counted.
Good
Right.
point.
So all I'm saying is, and the positive thing, the proudest thing to me, when I look on a song report, my streaming report, and I see Jamaica or Trinidad, my sister that from Trinidad, in my top 5 streaming for a song. Usually the number 1 streaming is US for a reggae song. The number 2 would probably be the UK. Number 3 would be Canada. Number 4 would be France, then Germany, and some of the European countries. The Caribbean would never be in that top 10.
Because we are go to YouTube. Cheap.
Yes.
Free.
or pirate.
Our pirates. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I can tell you the same dancehall that we criticize with the young people, them, the one that we can understand. Those songs, Jamaica in the top 5 all the time, because the young people them in Jamaica are stream Spotify now. No, ask where them get the money. They're streaming Apple.
Well,
You understand?
We didn't get the money, but we're not going to tell you.
But they are streaming. No, but I'm seeing those songs. There's very few songs, though, in the traditional reggae genre other than Bob Marley music. And I don't see Bob Marley because we don't release Bob Marley songs. But you can tell Bob Marley is also one of the top streaming songs, Three Little Birds. So my point is to set it up for the next conversation, if we want to continue on another day.
Yeah, man, we will.
Is that we have to, just like we used to go spend $30-40 buy CD every month, subscribe to the high yield streaming platforms so that we are counted in the economics of our music, so that we can influence what VP Records does, because you have access to me as the director of marketing. But the Columbia, the Sony Music, the big companies of the world that also control reggae content.
I'm a constant Apple streamer, constantly playing on the car all day long.
And don't they serve you up good music?
And and I don't even need to look to see what they're playing next. Actually, if I say to them, play me 90s reggae music, I get the best 90s reggae music ever. Not about ever. And sometimes the only thing is, as Diane said, if I stream today's dancehall, they have one name. What name? Scratch or Shift or Chip or something like that. Me don't know what the song I say, alright? But it's our nice. What name? Richard, what's the name?
So there's a whole group of them, man.
No, man.
We work with them.
It's called something like, the song goes like, catch or Swift or something like that.
Oh, you mean Drift?
Drift, yeah.
But that's great. That's a great song, man. The clean version.
But I don't understand what they're saying. I do not. I listen to the song all the time and I still cannot get it. Drift. I don't know what I said.
You can't do it drift.
No, tell me.
No, man. You have to do drift, Leo. You're cutlass.
No, me don't understand the lyrics. Me don't understand the lyrics.
That is my
But it's catchy.
I'm going to share with you one last story. Then we know what to do. About 2 years ago, we put a song, because we get a lot of songs, right?
Yeah.
And we have a group, some young people in our office, so we have to transition out, right? The old people. And this song was presented to us, right? And the young people have said, man, we need new dancehall, man. We need new, But, we said, no, this is a song we're going to put it out, right? And I'm just showing the power of streaming, right? And the song was with Sean Paul, Spice, and Shaggy.
Yes, man.
And it's called Go Down There.
Go down
right?
there.
So against the protests of the young ones in the group, we put it out. Well, because they always said that we old people make decisions with the music, and the people that make the decision is the A&R department.
Yes.
That song is the biggest streaming song in reggae music for the past 3 years, right? And you never know. And guess where the song is the biggest hit?
Where?
India
with them 40,000 million people.
India.
Woo! Wrap up.
Just to show you the power of streaming.
Streaming.
That
Richard,
song is not in the Jamaica top 10 right now.
yes, I'm going to forget stream it.
It's
but
not. It's not right.
It's not.
It was in the Jamaica top 10 in the like the first month.
Yes.
But it's not in Jamaica. And it's still number one in India. Streaming.
So the good thing that I'm hearing from here, and you know, it's nice when we have guests, right? Like Richard, is that Richard is seeing music from a different perspective than most people. He's seeing it from a transactional business perspective, where he can bring the analytics about how we should look at the music so that we can help out in promoting it. Because promoting is not just playing it on our CDs or just playing it at home. Promoting means allowing other people to see that we are listening to it, not just playing it just for the heck of it, but playing it so that it impacts the world. It impacts the people who will make the decision as to who gets a Grammy or who gets a Juno or whatever it is. And
or
so
who gets nominated.
Yes, or who gets nominated. Oh, who gets nominated? No. Me don't believe that. No. That's a different thing. Totally different thing. Don't set me off. Okay, don't draw the tongue.
All right, boys. Richard, it was so good having you on to spend time with us. I'm happy that you shared the importance of subscribing to these streaming platforms because of the impact on the industry, not just in terms of compensation and royalty payments for the artists, but the impact in terms of Grammy recognition and celebration.
Statistics.
Yes, for the statistics.
So Richard is also saying, Diana, hold on one more time. Richard is also saying, when you're having sex at night, don't put on an album on your component set. Turn on one of the streaming suits and ask them for Al Green or ask them for Mr. Martin or something like that. Okay?
Hey, last thing before I go. The other day I was driving back from and this is the power of streaming, right? We're talking about reggae music, but we're talking about life, music in general. I'm driving 4-hour drive from upstate New York. And me just tired, I'm in the reggae music business, so I'm just tired and listen to reggae music every day in there. And me just say, you know what? Play some Commodores. And you know what we realized, the Commodores was the playlist of my life growing up. Because I know every song.
Absolutely.
And that is the power of subscribing to Spotify or Apple and enjoy. You know what I mean? And if Richard, you do that for reggae music.
Richard, thank you so much, brethren. Yes, you did wonders this morning. Thank you so much for this.
Listen, just anytime, and I can talk. We can talk about it if you want to come next week, and we can talk politics because it's interesting. I've lived in California, I've lived in Florida, I've lived in New York, and I now live in Connecticut. I voted last week.
You go home and vote. Next time I'm in Connecticut, I'm usually in Bridgeport when I'm in Connecticut. I
live just up the road. Listen, me move here, forget that from Uno, and I couldn't believe there's so much I don't know up here. There's 200 Jamaican families.
How you call Uno? Come off.
Listen.
No.
And you talk about demographics, right? The Jamaican, them in Connecticut is country people like yourself. My neighbor come from Mobile too. You know what I mean? We get them from the Kingston people in the Bronx and in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? If you're Montego and Connecticut is just like Mobile.
Richard, take care.
Nice talking to you, man.
Right,
have a wonderful day. Take care.
All right.
Boy, that was nice talking to Richard this morning. That was really, really nice. I love arguing with Richard, you know that, right?
Yeah, clearly.
I'm always right.
You're always right. Adoma says, very much appreciate your perspective, Richard. It is important for people to understand how our actions impact the viability of Jamaican music. Yes, that's really true, Adoma. Young people are keeping dancehall music alive and paying for it. Great discussion, says Lorraine, and she said she stream Apple. So you can just add me to phone Apple account and me will stream too. Barbara says, I really enjoy you guys. Yes, love that song, says Lorraine. India, says Lorraine. Whoa. Go easy on old people, says maybe. Go easy on the old people here. I'm not taking phone. Yes. India, you should hear me scream, said Barbara. And you're the one, Lorraine. Me too. Oh my gosh, please bring back this gentleman. Says, chewing about India, Miss Hay. Barbara, agree, bro. Really, Leo? That are the advice for you know how to do things. Thanks for the advice. You're the one, Barbara. She are going to practice it. Good morning, guys. Quietly listening, but very informative class indeed, says Beverly. Yes, Beverly Brooks, Rodok, thank you for coming out of your quietness and saying, music is life, says Doreen Wallace. Please, yes, come back, says Lorraine. Right now, I'm listening to Slow Jam, bro, says Barbara. Thanks, Richard. I've never.
Dana, we're not hearing you again, okay? You need to go buy one new phone or one new whatever, okay? We're not hear you. Okay, so Juliet Rose said, well, let me see if me pick her up because me lose her. I wish, but she said, Barbara, love you guys, enjoy your day. Connie Francis, good morning to you, Connie. This is a great conversation, knowledge about streaming of music and reggae music. Me can't hear you now, Diana, I don't know. No, me can't hear you, me still not hear you. So, maybe my ears get deaf anyway, so, you know, but you can sign.
Hearing me any better now.
Oh, there you are now. See?
Mm-hmm. But I don't know what else to do. We don't know.
Me hear you now.
Oh gosh. Thanks, Richard. I'll never stream again, says Paulette. You did hear that? Love you guys. Enjoy your day, says Barbara. This is a great conversation, knowledge about streaming music and reggae music for sure, says Connie Francis. Hey, Connie, thank you for being here. Thank you, Mr. Richard. The Lord bless you, she says. Bring Richard back. You must think an election this year.
Lorraine, go make sure you go vote. Okay, Richard not upon the ballot.
You can stream on Alexa for free, says Vivian.
Oh, yeah, Alexa too.
Yes, Alexa. Yes, so she. Good show, says Jackie. Jackie, we're not done yet. We have one more hour to go. Thank you, Richard. Very informative. Dr. D just went out. Oh, yes, I don't know. I probably need a new setup or get up in here. Sure, Connie Francis giving thanks. Can hear you now, Dr. Diana. All right, thank you very much, Lorraine. I don't know, it keeps jumping from what I've set as the default audio out and keep jumping into other things that I have not connected. So when I go back and you say you can't hear me, it is somewhere else. I've never streamed music before, says Paulette. No, she upon half an hour. All right, Miss Timekeeper. She said we have half an hour. Any birthday greetings, anything I want to yard, the one we talk about? What a piece of murderation. We never even talk about that. Man,
what kind of murderation you talk about? What kind of murder?
Murderation, man. The people them at this football match one evening this week, and then just shoot them out and kill 5 people. You never hear?
No.
And then the next morning, 2 other men dead. Yes, one somewhere out of rock.
But all they say the crime reduced in Jamaica.
Well, me there, this is not the Glen. So I don't know if that the data no count if you not stream and you have to stream somewhere else. Have to stream somewhere else.
Them the thing they not stream, so that's why.
No.
And I get count.
No, well, let me tell you, 5 people at a football, it's not no laughing matter, man. Mm-hmm. And you know how football match is important. And the people them at the football match, I think it was Monday evening, and 5 of them, the gunmen came in and then just shoot them up. 5 people died on the spot. And then the next morning, in less than 24 hours, 2 more people were gunned down. So when people talking about, you know, how you feel living in Jamaica, you're scared. God, you could have just passed out on football match and do it. People have played domino and people just like that. I went earlier to get my car aligned and balanced earlier this week, and I was sitting there listening to some people, and it's just so it's interesting when you sit in these spaces in Jamaica how people can talk. And this man was saying how some lady or daughter get robbed in a downtown. And the lady called and said, boy, you know, them just robbed me. And he called one man. And that the man called one boy and said, yo, tell so-and-so for care back so-and-so. And in no time, the man get back the phone and get back the wallet with the money. Hey?
Wow, him bring it back. So I'm afraid that whoever make that call.
So me had to look to the other man to my right.
Yeah, find out where in there, please. Yeah, because I want to know him too.
I said, you know a man like that?
And call him fixer.
Yeah, the man said, yeah, no. Yes, auntie, you have to know them people, you know, you have to know road. Me say, me no know no road, me have to be careful when me that road then. On the other note, so that is it in terms of, you know, the level of criminality is just, it's there, it's happening, it's probably not being talked about much, but we have to be careful when we get out and about in our space, just like you have to be in the States or if you're in Canada, but more so when you're home.
Diana, this month is and I know we spoke about this already, but this month is breast cancer month, and I don't want us to forget the trauma that many of our female friends and families, and even male friends and families who've been through. It's a scary thing, and if it's not caught, it can, you know, what do you call it, masticize.
Yes.
Into that can cause serious
One
problems.
thing nurse them in here, we're supposed to help out Leo with the road.
Yeah. You can pronounce big word. I mean, I don't know them kind of big word there. Yeah.
And did have one big nurse say, what should I? She not come to see her.
Yeah, remember say Lana says she a big nurse too. Remember say Lana says she a big nurse.
Lana there.
Says she a big nurse.
Talk the big word again, Leo.
Me no remember why word master size or something like that. If that's the word. Yeah. It's spelled MASTERCIZE.
Oh, that. All right.
It means I get big.
Yes, I get big. Grow. It means I get grow.
Yes, and it's not a joke, guys. And it's really something that, as I said, I lost my sister from the complications of breast cancer, because she had breast cancer and it spread into her lungs and to other parts of our body, you know, and I'd never forget how scared my mother was, because she died in my mom's hand. And mama called me and said, you know, it's worst thing ever. You know, she died in my hand, and so the thing is, not that people aren't gonna die, not that we're not gonna be leaving this earth or anything, but if there are things that we can do to protect ourselves from the agony of living, the worst thing that you can do is to live in agony, in pain, and you can't do anything about it, and you know, knowing that death is coming, and so as much as possible, protect ourselves from these things as early as possible that we can catch it. We should, and it's not just cancer, breast cancer. Men have some issues with prostate
and diabetes too.
And diabetes.
But this month is breast cancer awareness. It's cancer awareness month, so we deal with that.
Yeah.
Johnny says my dad's birthday is Monday the 28th, and it's the first birthday since he passed. So may he continue to rest in peace. Jolette, yes, me agree. She says, somebody I play with you something, Dr. Diana. Lovely show. Yeah, somebody I play with me microphone in here. I have to go burn some incense and frankincense when me done here.
Diana, don't we have something called Duppy Band? Me just argued with my friend last night.
Yes, they play at the 9 nights.
All right. She don't know that. She don't know, say, there's something called Duppy Band. And she asked, why is it called that? Why would I want it to be playing? I said to myself, how is it that you don't know anything about Duppy Band? Duppy Band is the biggest thing.
Duppy Band have to play at 9 nights and set up a audio.
Let me tell you something. It's the sweetest thing that in the world. Me like the singer. Me like the dancers, because them have some really good dancers will come out of nowhere, have ball on them head a dance, and the rump on them head a dance, and then the best of all is the drummer. You know the drummer?
No, me don't know none of them.
Well, let me tell you something. The drummers are the best drummers in the world.
Really aware of the drumming expert them from
yeah.
Oh, I think they asked me know them. Me not really know.
But then a clarinet they come from. I'm sure there's so much about the Duppy Band and stuff.
But me not know them. Me know about them, but me not know say Mary name or Joe or for picking them.
Okay. But the whole thing is that when the Duppy Band start playing, the most interesting parts of the night is the dancers who come out from nowhere come dance. At my mother's funeral, there was a couple. Me don't know from a couple.
I set up.
They set up. Yeah. There was two people who came out, and two of them had the white rum in a glass, right? And so one put the white rum on her head, and then the man put the white rum the glass of white rum on him forehead. And then they both now dance in front of the band, dance in front of each other to see who are going to drop off the rum off of their head first. That's all.
We love that.
It's nice. Really, really nice.
Me now run that every with my rum.
Oh my God. That was so funny.
So sad. She never hear about the masculine. We have the same thing in Trinidad. Barbara laments. Ladies, please go do your mammogram, says Miss Jackie. Get your mammogram, says Lorraine. Metasize, says Lorraine.
Metastasize. Is that actually metastasize? Yes.
Okay, very good. Yes, Leo, prevention is the best defense. Yes. Amen, Leo. Everybody, I tell you what word mean. Stop spreading. It means that it continues to spread. Politics, I've never been to a night. Where's this girl from?
I've never been to a night. Kind of Jamaican. I can't talk about them. Don't know about the dine night.
But she has never been to a night.
What kind of who's this?
Paulette Chamber, she live in New York. She have to come to Jamaica. Clearly, she not come to Jamaica long.
Paulette, you need to go to Jamaica. Take a trip.
You don't even need to know who dead. Just ask if them have one night. You don't need
exactly.
To know who dead. Yeah. One thing, no requirement for enter night dance.
Exactly.
Who dead? Walk to the back around.
You don't have a pay. You don't have a pay either.
Somebody say sorry to hear that Mary did. And all of that. Barbara says, my granddaughter's birthday. Oh, it's today, and she's 11 years old, says Barbara.
What's her name?
What's your granddaughter's name? Is she in Trinidad? One smart child. I wish he all what? Okay. I wish her all that God wants to offer her. Maybe she just got to a wake. She need to go
okay.
We got set up a night. She need to even go to Florida. Jamaican people them in Florida. Woo! My uncle died some years ago. Othniel Johnson down in Miami Gardens. And let me tell you, you never miss a thing at Jamaica that died there. That was one hell ever night.
Diana, do you know that at some night they actually have a baller, a crier? Somebody who cries,
who just come ball,
yeah. Did you know that? Yeah. Just give him enough rum and him cry for the whole night.
So that a theme work.
Yeah, a theme work. Yes. And they're serious. They have who drop them on ground and if they can rub them belly and them have to tie up them belly. Yeah, just for that. Yeah.
One day we could get that work one night.
Then get paid for that.
Then we could have work. Anybody need a ball? Johnny says, I grew up in the USA 50 odd years and have been to quite a few. You need to hook up. Paulette, hook up with Johnny.
Yeah. What is she talking about?
Yeah, I know my parents never participated in that. Your parents haven't participated. You go with your friend. I've heard of professional criers, yes.
Okay, Diana, you see? All right. Me not tell lie.
So
she said she have she agreed that they're professional criers.
She can't agree with none for she never gone on night.
Who said that? Who said? Paulette said she know about Paulette, you're not a good source. You're not a good source at all, Paulette.
Let me tell you one joke about her. So Bustamante, them always a poke fun at Bustamante. Bustamante goes to a dinner and he's late and everybody's sitting on a wait for him. And he gets up and he says, he want to apologize. But when he was coming and he got down to Landover, down somewhere in Westmoreland, there's some holy there was a herd of cows crossing and somebody pulling him and saying, no, not herd. And he shook them off and said there was a herd of cows crossing and the whole block of the traffic couldn't get to come. And the person still insists and say, not heard. He said, look here, you might have heard, but I am telling you what I
Anytime you want a good joke about illiteracy, talk about Buster.
Let me tell you, first person then talk about a Buster. Call Buster name and tell Pure Life and Buster.
All right. So I didn't want to go to Miss Pearlie's son, the comment, because me think that's the, later on in the show we have to get serious about stuff. But what you hear him talk about with the cockroach and thing is personal experience for me. Right? So when we grew up in a tenement yard, there was one toilet. There were 2 buildings. Each building has 3 rooms, and each room has at least 5 individuals, children, wife, and husband. Okay, so we're 32 of us inside of that yard. There's one kitchen, one zinc up kitchen, right? With the crank and everything, and one table in there where them put the pots pan, and the table is a shared table. Any family that come in can use any pot that's there and cook and thing as long as they clean it. Well, then there's only one toilet, and it's perched a little bit on a higher level than the houses, run at the back. And there are, I remember exactly what it looks like. And I also remember.
I'm going to run for a little bit, but continue the garbage.
But you have to know that when the men, you'll see the men walk towards the latrine. You never see the women because women go late in the night, right? But the men use the latrine daily, and most times they are smokers. So they have several things when they go to the toilet. One, they'll have the box of cigarette that they will smoke while they're in there, or 1 or 2 cigarettes. They'll have newspaper that they walk with. The newspaper serves several purposes, and we'll talk about that, right? And then they'll have a book. Or if it's not a book, they'll have a little bit more newspaper. So let's scratch the book for now, and they'll use the newspaper. So they'll bring the newspaper and they'll sit on the toilet and read the newspaper, and then use the same newspaper as tissue after when they're done, right? But before they sit down, there's something critical that happens. You see, if the toilet hasn't been used in a while, what happens is all of those roaches from the bottom will creep up to where the light is. And the light is where the little round hole inside where you sit down. And when a person goes in, they go in with their matches. So they take the newspaper and fold it up, and they have a long, what do you call that now? Lamp, you turn on the, whatever. The newspaper, they have about a 8 to 10 inch piece of newspaper, and it's folded up. When you fold the newspaper, it means that it takes longer to burn, right? So you fold it up, and it looks like a stick, then you light the bottom, and then you take that newspaper and wipe it around the top of the edge of where you're going to sit down. So you're going to cleanse it, that part, right? And then you dip it underneath to run the roach them, and the roach them gallop on the bottom because they don't like so much light, all right? And then you sit down. That's what Miss Pearlie, that's my experience. Me know what it is. You not tell me nothing new because it's been my experience. So I hope you heard that, Diana. Okay, and
I heard every word of it. Just needed to put on.
So most people can attest to my truths. Okay.
I drinking soursop juice.
May I have a story about soursop juice too? But I probably won't tell that one.
No, but I tell no soursop juice story after that. They tell it incident. So it's Faith says I have used a latrine as a child. Very scary.
Yes.
Afraid to fall into it. Juliet says St. Elizabeth. I love Miss Pearlie grandson, and he's from St. Elizabeth. All right. Hush faith, we're glad you know fall in there. Because that would have been too much trauma for go pick you out. Oh my gosh. Leo, that's a lot of gross details. Says Paulette. Ew, she says. Oh, she Paulette, that's so morbid. But this a blessed man, you know, because give you so much grimy details about about his Latin expenditure, I never remember. Anyway, experiences. Well, what?
We'll tell you about the chimney next week, okay?
Lots. Well, then I stopped eating pepper shrimp because I remember one time mommy tell me this story. We're going through middle quarters and mommy said, "Oh, you're not going to eat any more of these shrimp, you know, because one day a lady was called out early in the morning to sell it and she came with a piss pot instead." So after that, that cured me. Me no want no more pepper shrimp down there. So the whole story was that and under the same in the same vicinity. So
Lord of mercy, Jesus Christ.
anybody want to hear that?
What has been your experience with the latrine? It's not a good thing. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good thought for
I can
most.
imagine that such experience is hard, and I have had to use a latrine. I've visited family in the country, and yes, you have to do that. The truth of the matter is that I don't usually stay longer than 2 days, so I try not to have to go. But
Yes.
if I have to pee, then I just pee on the anywhere that is convenient, just bend down and pee. But when you have to do the number two part of it, I try to hold that till I go back home. And it's the same thing with bathing because they had to go down to the river to bathe. And I mean, it was a long walk, or it seemed like a long walk to go to the river, but it was fun. I'm sure they enjoyed it because they would go to wash and so forth. I never mind that. And I would bathe occasion, but good God, the water usually cold.
Cool. Cool. Well, I was really talking about the experience at night because I went to
Oh no, I'll
Springfield.
never go to a latrine at night. Hell no. No. And then they always tell you all these dopey stories before. Anyway,
yeah.
you want to go there? No, Leo.
I'm the buckle lamp. You know buckle lamp, right?
I know the red stripe that used to be the long bottle, and they put the kerosene in there, and they put the newspaper and shake it down, and
Right.
then light it. And when it
What,
goes,
what's the name of the part where you light? What's the official name for that?
the wick.
Wick. Lord have mercy. I was just trying to remember the name. You actually turn the paper into a wick, right? And you burn it.
And they call that kind of a light a kitchen bitch.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Our experience. If you're not yearning to not go back to where you're coming from, you're not an ambition. Because
you must yearn for that experience.
you're not to want to get back there, because I'm
Or
telling
you
you,
yearn not to.
not to get back. It's really a bad experience, and so those things kind of they keep you balanced. That experience keep you balanced because you said to yourself, Lord, I don't ever want to go back there. So whenever you go to work in the day and work hard, you say it's all right, because this is paying my bills and I don't have to go back down. That's what this is all about.
That's motivation.
Yes. Oh my God. It's rough. Life is rough. So,
And on that note of life is rough. Let me see if I can perhaps get this going. Dirty Tough by Louise Bennett Coverley. Sun a shine, but things not bright. Do pot a boil, bickle no enough. River flood and rain a fall, but dirty tough. Nowadays the things them so hard. When you ask somebody how them do, them afraid you take it, tell them back, so them no answer you. No care how much with their work for, hard times still in our shot. With a fight, hard time a beat we, they might raise the wages, but me done.
and that's it.
No, there's more, but me can't bother.
I know, man. I want to hear more of that because that poem was we did that in grade 4,
Yes.
but it kind of brings out the reality of your life.
Yes.
That song, because
That-
it tells you about who you are. Yeah. Could you just continue, please?
Actually, I'm trying to find the rest of it.
Oh,
It
I
came
thought
up.
it's
It came up in a format that I just couldn't read it. Sun a shine, but things not bright. Do a pot a boil, bickle no enough. River flood and water scarce. Your rain a fall, but dirty tough. Things so bad that nowadays when you ask somebody how them do, them afraid you take it, tell them back, so they no answer you. No care how much you they work for, hard times still in our shot. With a fight, hard time a beat we. They might raise the wages, but £1 gone on pound we pay, and we still no feel no merriment. For £10 gone on pound with food and £10 pound we rent. Saltfish gone up, mackerel gone up, pork and beef gone up. And when rice and butter ready, them just go on holiday. Cloth, boot, pin and needle gone up, ice, bread, taxes, water rate, kerosene oil, gasoline gone up, and the pound devaluate. The price of bread gone up so high that we have to agree to cut we eye on bread and call ton dumpling refugee. And all them maga smuddy there were going like fatty sin. And them they were dash all them they were the fast with me and left them to dumpling. Okay, I'll read back this. And all the maga people smuddy there were going like fatty sin and them were the fast with me and left them to dumpling. Sun a shine and pot a boil, but things not bright. Bickle no enough, rain a fall, river the flood, but water scarce and dirty tough.
it puts you back into the moment of hard life, but there's hope. Hard life, but there's hope, right? And I can't help but think about diabetes, because it actually say you return to the things that will fill your belly, right? Dumpling and bread. And as we grew up in Jamaica, it was mostly about, as I grew up, it was mostly about belly full, not necessarily eat to stay healthy, but rather eat just to fill your stomach. And sometimes people wonder why do we have diabetes, or why does our children get diabetes, and why diabetes bother we. It's all of that food that we've practiced eating over the years, and we fill our stomach with the
I
first
know that
thing,
we practice we eat. I food them what we have to eat.
the food, and what we have to eat. We have to eat. It's not like you have any choice, because time hard, dirty tough, and so the only thing that we have is what we have to turn to: flour, yam, banana, cocoa, everything that on we plate to make
Dumpling.
our belly full. Yeah, to make
Stretch
our belly
flour.
full. Yeah, because belly full is unhealthy if it's not properly done, and we have to think about that in our lives on a day-to-day basis. Now that we have the ability to, but sometimes that's actually late, because if we spend 25, 30 years of our lives doing belly full, and then all of a sudden we come into a way in which we can now take care of ourselves and eat differently. 25, 30 years of dumpling, enough dumpling that enough diabetes. so, so, so it's, you have to understand why it's so rampant in Jamaica. And we don't do a good job of changing that, because belly full is the only thing that counts when we come to Jamaica. That was it. Not healthy food.
Anybody have any requests? If they tell me, I'll at the time. I know another favorite was Nolika Twang. Me glad to see you come back, boy. But Lord, you let me down. Me shame I used to tell all me proudness drop a ground. You mean say you go America and spend whole 6 months there and come back not a piece better than when you did go there? Boy, you no shame. So you come. I could go on.
We don't know why you stop these things. We have a lot of comments still, but I don't know why you stop these things. What do you think? You think we're supposed to clap? You all right, clap because you do well.
Let me read the comment them before we fire me. Lauren says, "What a great show! I love the good old days in the country," says Jackie. "I love hearing these experiences. Experiences teaches wisdom. Love the poetry." Who is that? Lauren says, love the poetry, and it keeps jumping from me. I'll come back. Hooray, Johnny de la Plata, Paulette is sharing love. Thanks you, Lady Di, says Juliet. Belly full, said Barbara. Barbara, she live at Trinidad, she never hear about that. Faith says, we should eat to live, not live to eat. The reality is syrup and flour cheaper to some people than fat because them poor. So some people fat because them poor, them can it dictates the diet, income level. We have the ability to eat properly, but the type of food is highly processed. Keep reading, says Faith. Faith, send me something and I will read. Please give the titles of these poems, says Lorraine. Lorraine, she not come from Jamaica.
And also the writer. So you have to start.
They were Louis Bennett pieces. Both were Louis Bennett pieces. Every Jamaican know. Trinidad and Tobago also have a lot of sugar people, diabetic people. It's time for me to get ready to work, but enjoyed the show so much, says Jackie. Go on me there for somebody. I have to work for mine. I love the way you read them, Dr. Diana, says Lorraine. Thank you. Never heard of the second poem. Connie Francis never heard this. You know what? Great show to our guest, Richard. Great show. Thanks to our guest, Richard, says Paulette. Really never heard Malika Twang? Oh,
please go ahead and do it.
Yes. You have more on your thing?
No, I want you to have to do the Miss Lou no little twang.
Oh, let me look for it.
So you're just doing that out there a while ago?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Me have head in my head. Me have head. Me can do things out of my head, you know.
Hey, that's really nice.
Just like I remember Ballad of 65 by Alman.
Oh my God! Who was I talking to? Last night we were in a conversation and didn't know that there was a book by the name of 65 that tell us about Paul Bogle and it's a good story. If I don't know how truthful a lot of these things are, but when you read the story about Paul Bogle, it is really an uplifting story. I'm telling you, if you ever get a chance to, please read that please read about Paul Bogle. He's all over Facebook, not Facebook, but all over Google. Just ask Google to pull up Paul Bogle. I'm gonna tell you something. The story is so good. It's about how he went to the governor to get some relief for the workers, and the governor turned him down, and him walk from Kingston all the way back to Morant Bay. And when him got Morant Bay, and some policeman catch him, they send out Fim Head, and policeman catch him and hang him, and they also hang George William Gordon. I mean, the stories are absolutely fabulous. It's sad. It was sad for me to hear that they killed him the way that he did, because he was looking out for his fellow man. And really, really a sad story. But please, if you don't read anything else about any of the other guys, read him. It'll fill you up big time. Go ahead, Diana.
Nolika Twang, Louise Bennett. Me glad to see you come back, boy. But Lord, you let me down. Me shame my house. You so till all of me proudness drop a ground. You mean say you go to America and spend 6 whole months there and come back not a piece better than when you did go away. Boy, you know shame. It's how you come after you tan so long. Not even like a language, boy. Not even like a twang. And your sister, who they work only 1 week with American. She talks so nice that we have the juice to understand. Boy, you could improve yourself. And as so you get so much pay. You spend 6 months at foreign and come back ugly same way. Not even drapes, trousers, or a past the reading coat. Why not even gold teeth or a gold chain round your throat? Suppose me last me pass and go introduce you to stranger as me lamented son would just lately come from America. They would have laugh after me, boy. They would have tell me say, them would have say, lie. You was a spend time on Moko. Now back answer me, boy. You talk too bad. Shut up your mouth. And don't know how you and your papa go and make it out. If you want please him, make him think you bring back something new. You always call him Pa. This evening when he come, call him Pooh.
I tell you that when Diana came and got Moko, me never got Moko from the only thing me know about Moko is to use Moko for cuss people. You come from Moko, you must come from Moko, that kind of thing. And Moko, in my mind, ladies and there is the worst part of Jamaica. And when I went to Moko a few years ago, it was really a delight. It was a really delightful experience. Yeah, so well kept community. Yeah, well kept community. Very green and lush, and the people are friendly. I was really nice. It was really nice to find out about Moko. Me never from I left that Moko there, the physical Moko. I have never said I must see Moko you come from. I never tell anybody that again.
Right. Not in a derogatory way.
Not in a derogatory.
Jackie says I need to know my heroes' history. All right, we'll walk you through them one.
You know, I'm gonna do that, Diana.
Yes, every week
yes, each week we talk about our
all right. Dean Wigner says, welcome Marlene Fraser out of England. Okay, welcome out of England, Miss Marlene.
Marlene.
It's way past your bedtime. You must be totally knackered by now. Hope says, same, we could not listen to and never did at home. Really good show, says Hesab. VM Hesab, my good grief. And
VM, good day.
Awesome reading, says Faith. Thank you very much, Faith. Love it. At Prep School, they said Mocho. Yeah. Where you from, Mocho? I know, but it was a pleasure.
Nana, thank you so much today. It's been great. We did 3 hours, and it seemed like 2.
No, not quite. We have 2 more minutes to go. So
we have 2 more. In Jamaica, in California, it says 9 o'clock, which is 12 o'clock. If you say Jamaica, Jamaica wrong.
On this tracker, it says we've been on for 2 minutes and 2 hours and 57 minutes and 45 seconds. So you better fill the gap. So it says 3 hours. I want my money's worth. Anybody having a birthday this week, please enjoy yourself.
My sister is having a birthday, the one who died, having a birthday on the 28th of this month.
All right, we can go to that party.
All right. And then I have Basil, my best friend and brother on the 28th also.
Okay.
He's having a birthday. Happy birthday, Basil.
I have a friend who's having a birthday today, Anthony Perkins. Today is his birthday, and he's having a masquerade party later. So I'm going to go in my costume to my masquerade party. Happy birthday, Anthony. See you later. Looking forward. Yes, and who has a birthday? Congratulations to all those people who got their ODs and their OJs. My Audrey Max, congratulations. Mrs. Lopez, congratulations on your OD. Same time here, BVI, good afternoon. Michelle Foster. And Michelle Fanger White is not feeling so well. Michelle, we hope that you feel better as the day goes. that you will get some chicken soup and feel better. Karen Rose
Thank
says
you,
goodbye,
KK. Thank you,
everyone.
guys. Thank you, everybody. We see Michi Foster
Yes.
on. Thank you. So she
Michi,
says from
Michi.
that's
British
British
Virgin Islands.
Virgin Island. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you very much for being here. Karen Rose says, goodbye, everyone. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Great show. Thank you all. Don't forget to the partner money. Jackie, have a good weekend, everyone. Guys, God bless you.
Bye bye now.
Go.